am pumped. What is going on, everyone? It's episode 101, recorded on Sunday, June 5th, 2022. I'm John, and hey, Drew.
Yep.
Keith and Brenda had been married for 30 years. And in all those 30 years, they always kept the lights off when having sex. And since Keith was scared that he wouldn't be able to please her in bed enough, he always used a large dildo on her. And for 30 years, Brenda had no clue until one night when she wanted some water, decided to reach over and flip the light switch on and saw Keith and his small dick using the dildo instead. She said, "I knew it, you asshole. Explain the dildo." And Keith replies, "Explain the kids."
The sun has set on another day, and now it's time to grab a cold one and enjoy the Dads After Dark show with your hosts, Drew and John.
On tonight's show, we are gearing up for Mario Strikers. Woo! Can't wait. Super pumped. Can't wait to talk about it. We have Sonic Frontier trailer, and we're going to break it down. Do we like it? Do we not like it? Are we going to play it? Who knows? And of course, my favorite reoccurring segment, TV Dads, is back. So we can tell you a little bit about what we've been watching, what movies, what to stream, what not to stream, and the whole 9 yards. John, happy Memorial Day weekend, last weekend. I don't know about you, the weather has been absolutely fabulous up here in New England. It was a nice, 78 and super sunny the last 2 days for us. Just perfect weather. But what's the weather like in good old Colorado?
We've got good weather. It hasn't been as cold. Last week was really cold. This week has been a little warmer in mid-high 70s. I really miss the cold weather. I'm a cold weather guy.
Oh, I hate it.
I bring back the rainy cold. I want it.
Miserable. You know, I just want to, I just love laying in the sun so much that you start to sweat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not for me, no.
Speaking of that, for all you dads out there, this is, I've discovered, and it's not really discovered, but I've started using something that made a game-changing
Gold Bond.
No, I've been using that for years. That's a must. But it made yard work. I still haven't joined that bandwagon.
Headphones.
No, fucking let me tell you what it was. So for yard work, I bought those cooling towels, right? You know, a lot of people use them when they go to Disney and stuff like that.
I don't know what those are.
Really? I'm going to send you a link that I bought on Amazon.
Okay.
It's just these, I don't know how to describe the texture of them, but there's just these towels. But when you wet them, they stay cold. And I can't describe the feeling of it, but they're amazing. You know, I started with it around my neck. You know, I cut the grass, and then by the time I have the full out, turn it into a bandana type thing. And when I'm done cutting the grass, it's like a new person. I feel fantastic. It keeps in, I don't know. It just keeps the sweat out. It's great.
So can you put it in a bag? Like if when I go to Disney with my kids, right? Can I put it in a bag and then just go to a water fountain and wet it and
Oh yeah, absolutely. And then you can just kind of wring it out a little bit, do it in the bathroom, and it has something in it that makes it cold and it stays cold.
It's probably toxic chemicals.
John, I don't give a shit what it is. It
worth
works.
It. Yes.
I told you I've been seeing less and less critters in my yard lately. I think they've been
murdered them
talking
all
to each other.
Yeah.
And telling them, hey, this guy's a fucking psycho. Stay out of his yard.
That or they're planning something big now. Yeah.
But one guy didn't get the memo this morning, and I did kill my first fraud of the season. Weed whacker.
Run it over? Oh,
no,
weed whacker?
Weed whacker.
How are you? Wait, hold on. How are you not traumatized seeing a frog get weed whacked to death?
I was weed whacking, and he jumped into my line of fire. It honestly wasn't my fault. And then I saw
legs just sprayed you in the face.
Yeah, one leg went flying. White fence. It was like a horror movie. A little bit of blood splattered onto the white fence.
Have you been watching The Boys this season? All right, no, we'll talk about it later.
No. Yeah,
Totally reminds me.
Um,
Drew, let's go Mets, go. We had to delay starting recording this show because I had to watch the last out of the Met game. I just want to say right now, the Mets are for real. They're going to win the whole World Series. They just split with the Dodgers in LA.
Do you have to give up your kidney?
The only thing I pray is that it's not a Mets Yankees World Series, because I literally would not be able to stand that because.
Now, do you despise the Yankees as a Mets fan?
Despise them with every fiber of my being. And usually every year, I mean, in most years, the Mets aren't in the playoffs. They've been pretty good the last 7 years or so, but most years they're not in the playoffs. So when playoff seasons start, I can't really enjoy it until the Yankees get eliminated. Lucky for me, the last 13 years, the Yankees have gotten eliminated. But I literally can't enjoy it until the Yankees are out. So if the Mets are playing the Yankees, it's going to be the stress of the Mets versus, oh my God, if we lose, we'll have lost to the Yankees.
So that's the stress of it, is that if you not only like losing blows, but losing to the Yankees.
Right.
Now, I know that feeling. I mean, the Sox and the Yankees were the top two teams for, a good 10-year stretch.
Right.
The early 2000s, right? So,
but the Yankees aren't in your state. I think I agree with you. Yeah,
it's rivalry around here.
It's more of it. It's like it's the other team in New York, and so you don't want to see them get that success. Now, the way I should look at it, and I'm going to try to train my brain if it comes to it, is go. If the Mets can beat the Yankees in the World Series, then we own New York, right?
Sure.
I just hope it's any other team, not the Yankees. We lost to the Yankees in the World Series in 2000, and but I'm psyched about my team. Drew, I got a new pillow.
Oh, tell me everything, because last time we spoke, I told you I bought a new pillow. And all I'll say about my pillow is I no longer use it.
Oh, I remember your pillow. Yeah. That wasn't the last time.
Was it a month ago? 2 months ago?
It was like a year ago.
Stop. Anyways, I want to hear all about your pillow.
So when my wife and I, when we celebrated our anniversary, this is actually a bigger story. I won't get into it, but we buy a mutual gift together instead of buying gifts for each other. I don't think she likes doing that.
Why?
But you know how there's so many holidays in a year you have to buy a present for your wife?
It's bullshit.
And it's bullshit. It is. You got her birthday. You've got Mother's Day.
Yep.
You've got, what else do you got? Anniversaries.
Fuck those. That's like a lose-lose situation.
You've got Christmas or whatever holiday you might celebrate. And then what else? There's Valentine's.
Fuck that holiday too. I don't do any. We just say we don't buy each other anything.
Well, that's awesome. I don't think my wife would swing for that. But
birthday we do, but that's about it. 5
holidays where you have to find the perfect, most sweetest gifts imaginable, or you're a fucking failure.
And how long have you been with Michelle?
We got married in 2004.
Okay, so almost 20 years. That's 100 unique ideas you've had to go through.
Yes, exactly.
It's a lot.
And you can't. It's so hard to be perfect. So I said for anniversary, it's a mutual gift. I'm not buying for you. It's our anniversary.
Yeah, I want a gift too.
So let's get something together. Maybe we get a new TV. Maybe we get, like something regular, not like something dumb.
That idea.
But the last couple of years, we keep delaying it. We didn't get there. We went to Disney one year. We were going to get it, and we ended up going to a different store, and we just never found anything. That's another big story. Mm-hmm. So this year, we were trying to figure out a gift, and I decided, what about new pillows? And I found this. I had gotten this ad for a body pillow.
Oh,
and I looked at it. It is a massive body pillow.
Nobody wants
and I said to her, I go, do you want to get body pillows? And she wasn't in it. She wasn't into it.
That's like saying you no longer have sex.
No,
of course it is. You're boning the body pillow, John, not your wife now.
You can move pillows away.
It's not the same. No, it's telling the other one, I'm gonna fuck my pillow instead of you. Telling you.
Well, I ordered the body pillow anyway.
Did she know you ordered it?
She didn't know I ordered it, and it was expensive. It was like $170.
God bless you.
And it was like some fancy site, and Yeah, it didn't show up for a month because it was like a pre-order. And oh my God, it showed up. That first
Pre-order.
night was like, I've slept pretty poorly lately. It was the best night of sleep I ever had. It was
Oh my.
fantastic.
And meanwhile, poor Michelle's on the other side of the bed, spooning nobody.
You moved the pillow out of the way.
Well, you didn't. You slept the pillow, not your wife.
No.
So for your anniversary,
I haven't had sex with my pillow one time.
You pretty much told your wife, for our anniversary, I'm going to stop snuggling you at bed. I'm going to snuggle my pillow.
Wait a minute. Do you snuggle in bed?
I try.
When you sleep?
I try. Yeah.
That's not a real thing that happens. I am convinced. Married couples do not spoon.
Stop.
I get spoon?
The hand under the shirt and I spoon.
What? How many years have you? How do you? It's so hot. Like, who wants to spoon?
That's how it starts. I mean, I might end up on the other side,
Yeah, like for 5 minutes, and then you abandon.
There are times I've fallen asleep like that. Yeah.
Abandon spoon. I think it's rare. I think it's something you see with like, new couples or whatever. No. But like, I think once you're married.
That's going to tell me you bought 2 twin beds.
No. I know. I think I know people that have done that. But I know I have trouble sleeping. No, we sleep. We're apart from each other. But we have a big king bed. Anyway, this pillow is amazing. It's gigantic. I love it. You sleep so you put your head down and it's think of it as like
you saw
like a hairpin. It's like at the top and then it curves down. These 2 long pillows go down. And so you put your head on the top of the hairpin and then I always sleep with a pillow between my legs because who doesn't? And you put one side goes between your legs.
Fucking pillows in weird spots.
And then I take the other side and I wrap it around me and I'm in a cocoon of amazingness. I love it.
You made fun of me saying that spooning your wife makes you hot. You just said you wrapped an entire pillow around your body.
Yeah.
I'd sweat up.
It's not a human body. It doesn't generate heat.
It conceals it.
I want to know how many married couples that are listening spoon with their wives or husbands or whatever.
Bet you more people spoon with their wife than a body pillow.
No fucking way. There is no way.
I'm putting a poll up in our Discord.
I will say it's 90% no spoon. No, 90% no spoon. That's my. What is your prediction?
50-50.
50-50?
Yes.
Oh my God. How much money are we putting down on this? I'm saving up for Nintendo games. Send me money.
All right. $20 right now, but only if the percentages are a straight match. So if it's like 60 or 70 or 10%, nobody wins. But if it's 90%, you win. Oh,
no. That gives me way less wiggle room. No. I could just do more people spoon than you win. Less people spoon, I win.
Well, no, that's so unfair because you said 90%. So you win if it's 51%? That's bullshit.
It's too complicated.
Yeah.
But I will bet $200 because I have a bunch of chubby money in my PayPal right now.
You chubby bastard. That body pillow probably gives you a chubby. Speaking of chubbies and pillows, I just got a brand new mattress, John.
Wow.
I know. Look at us.
What brand?
Sealy. So we ended up doing the whole.
Holy shit, that's fancy.
Is it? I don't know.
Well, it's
mattresses are cheap nowadays. Anyway.
Nowadays, you get the mail order mattress or you get the fancy store mattress.
Well, we tried the Sleep Number, right? The big thing with that is like you go there, you test them out, and you can adjust the firmness on your phone. That's
on your
what it
phone?
Is. On your phone, you can make it like really firm, or like you can sink in. But with that, you don't think about a lot of stuff to go wrong. You have motors breaking and shit. I don't know. I didn't think it was that comfortable. It was like $3,500 too. I didn't think it was comfortable. Then we tried like the Tempur-Pedic that everyone in the world loves, and I just felt like you were sleeping on a marshmallow, and I mean that in a negative way. Like you just like sank in. Like it couldn't move.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
You know, and when I sleep, I'm all over the place after I'm done spooning. But yeah, the Sealy was like a perfect little combo at all. Yeah, it was like $2,500.
That's fancy.
Is it? I mean, what's considered a cheap mattress?
I think under 1,000 for sure. I can't remember. We bought a purple mattress a few years ago, like the mail order one.
Those.
I think it was definitely between like 500 and 1,000. I don't think it was near 1,000, but yeah.
Well, we did a new bot spring. We were in the problem of, like you mentioned earlier, with the king bed. So our old house, when we first, got married, bought our first house, we had a queen size bed. That's all it fit. And then, so when we moved to our new house, we, our bedroom's much bigger, plenty of room, but we didn't want to buy a whole new bedroom set at the time because we had to, we'd have to buy new mattress, new furniture, everything. So now it was time to get we just bought a house. You're poor.
I love what our podcast has become in the last 6 minutes.
So when we go to get the new mattress, it's like, do you upgrade to the king size? But if you upgrade to the king size, then you have to buy the new headboard. Then you got to buy a matching bureau,
right? Frame, sheets,
frames. So that would turn into like 2,500 into like 10 grand. So I'm just like, fuck that. I don't want to spend. I don't need it that bad. So we just stayed with the queen. Better for spooning anyway.
The king is glorious, though.
I know, I'm jealous. The last thing I'll mention is good old Hambone Johnny and myself finally got together and met up last weekend. We had a fantastic fucking day, like to a T.
Right.
We met at like 8 a.m. This nice little diner, had a nice big breakfast, some omelets. Then we went to a golf course. We played 9 holes together, just the two of us, bonded, got to know each other a little bit more. And then we had a golf tournament we met 2 other guys. We had beers, shots, dinner, pizza, everything. It was fantastic. And then we fucking won, John. We won the whole tournament. It was awesome. And it was just a fantastic day. Hey, more than we're going to do it again soon.
That is awesome. I love the pictures. And it's great. You guys did something you both love to do. It wasn't like you had to come up with hey, you want a mini golf or something like that. Like you guys just want to drink and play golf and have a big breakfast. So the question I haven't asked you is, who are the 2 guys you just met, or did you meet up with people you knew?
So the other 2 guys, one of them's my best friend, my cousin, who I did the Disney podcast with, Bubba, as you know.
Ryan.
Yep. And
I can't call him Bubba. It's weird.
Yeah. Well, and the other guy is a co-worker, mutual co-worker between me and Ryan that we know at work. So.
Okay. Yeah, you made it sound like it was 2 strangers, and then there was a big argument between you, and you beat them, and you were pissed off. I swear that's what the story sounded like. I was like, who are these guys? Like, what?
No. So what happened was, after we were all very intoxicated at the end of the tournament, when we went up to collect our prize, there was some fat asshole slob sitting at one of the back tables oh, you guys cheated, you didn't win. So me being my drunk self almost fought the guy and was like, let's go play golf right now, I'll bet you $100 a hole, let's play. And then he started backtracking and was like, well, yes, that's right, you shut the fuck up and sit down. And that was it. Fantastic day. Good story.
Nice.
That's it. That's
right.
That's all that's really going on, though.
Okay, I think we're ready to move on. I think we've talked a little too much about home comforts. But speaking of comforts, Drew,
summer is coming, and the sun is shining. Shirts are off, and your balls are smooth. You heard that right. Your friends at Manscaped are here to make sure your beach balls are as smooth as Floridian sand. In summer, you want to kill some cold bears and barbecues. Not kill the vibe. Kill some cold bears, kill them, drink them.
Oh, they said bears.
Bears. Not kill the vibe with your pubes peeking out of your swim trunks. That's why Manscaped has their Performance Package 4.0 to keep the party in your pants, looking crisp and refreshing all summer long. Dive headfirst into summer by joining the 4 million men and women worldwide who trust Manscaped, and get ready for the hot guy summer by going to manscaped.com. For 20% off and free shipping, use the code NINDADS, NINDADS. You know the drill, folks. If you haven't done it by now, just go fucking do it. And remember to keep up the stock on things. I'm almost low on shampoo. Probably going to have to put an order in. Not going to lie. And I was actually with Hambone the other day. And you know what he pulled out of his golf bag? Individual Manscaped wipes for your balls. I said,
whoa.
I said, can I
Wait, he
borrow
carries
one of
them
those?
with him?
In his golf bag.
Wow.
Because when else do you sweat your balls off? It's on a golf course when it's 90 degrees out. You know, you're drinking beer, you get dehydrated.
Ooh.
So I had to borrow one from him and wipe my balls, later on.
Like in the bathroom or just while you're on the course?
I just pulled them right down. You try to do what you got to do.
Tell me what you have to do.
All
right, anyways, I guess I didn't get that picture.
No, that one I saved for my eyes only. I
did Manscaped this week, and I don't do the whole what do we call it, the wet noodle look.
Coffee out.
I trim, but it's not a visual I like having in my head, Drew. But there it is.
I'll tell you what, I'm not gonna lie. The wet noodle look is more of a winter vibe for me because if you get too in the crotch areas, right? If you get too thin there with the razor, it's dangerous because you can get really chafage very easily.
Yeah.
Right? Because in the summer when it's starting to sweat more and you're walking a lot more, in the winter not so much, right? But you got to be careful when I love the wet noodle. I don't think I've ever heard that before. The wet noodle look is very dangerous in the summer. So I have also been using just the 4.0 and trimming up the last few times.
I think that's what you want to do. And we talk about Manscaped, but we don't talk about how to use it.
That's true.
But yeah, like avoid clearing the area down to the skin because it's a weird feeling and you're gonna get some sweat and whatever. The hair is valuable. You just don't want when it's like that curly hair when it's like growing too long. You just got to trim that off. That's what you're going for. I mean,
you always get the straight razor and get rid of the dit sideburns as I prefer.
Oh yeah, we need the dit burns.
You got to get rid of the dit burns because it's better for sets. Simple.
Did we ever do a bounty with Dick Burns picture? I don't know if we did. What would that bounty be? Like $50 if you post a picture of your Dick Burns? 50 easy.
It needs to be a full body shot because I want to know it's your dick. I'm not letting you get off the hook with posting some random dick pic.
Maybe we should do $5 because the best part about our bounties is how we'll offer. I heard Sean and Nick say like you get $10 for eating 12 Hershey Kisses, but you get $10 for getting every single Kyber brick in Legos. It's like one takes 2 minutes and one takes maybe like 200 hours. So maybe we should offer somebody $5 for a full body picture of them naked with dick burns. $5.
This is a podcast exclusive bounty. I'm not going to post this one. What's our email? Dads After Dark Show.
Dads After Dark Show
at gmail.com.
Yeah, don't send it to the wrong account because you might regret that.
Send your dick pics there.
All right. All right, let's go to the bounty board.
Bounty board.
The bounty board.
All right, bounties. We have a bunch of achieved bounties here. First one, stuff 11 Hershey Kisses in your mouth. This was achieved by Sean Abbott of Game Pass News. Very well done.
Champion.
He sent us like a time-lapse photo, time-lapse video. It was great. He did that one. I was just reading the notes, and this next one merged with this one, and I read "Dick in Your Mouth," and I was like, "What the fuck am I looking at here?"
Nice.
The other one, because you can only do one Hershey Kiss achievement. We wanted to spread the wealth.
Yes.
Hershey Kick, 100 Hershey Kisses in the shape of a dick and lick the tip. I don't know. We just came up with that out of the blue.
You're welcome.
Achieved by the Informant, who's one of our biggest bounty hunters. Would you say he is like the Samus of bounty hunters or like Dog the bounty hunter? Like, what name would you give the Informant for?
Gotta go Dog.
He's done like 4 bounties now.
We need to keep a leaderboard of the bounties.
Well,
I have it all written down. I just don't have it like formalized.
Yeah, because he did the 100 Hershey Kisses. He did the stacking of the M&Ms. He did both of the Switch Sports ones. So I think he's at 4.
He definitely takes control of the non-video game ones, which I like to see. We need more of those.
He's excited for it.
We're going to be seeing his dit soon if we keep up this.
I wish we weren't doing Yes, we could get dick burns. And then this one was awesome because we were doing the 100th episode last week, 2 weeks ago. And we just decided to offer $20 to anybody who could beat Hammer Kid. And little did we know we were talking to the winner, Kevin.
We offered $20.
I think it was next day or 2 days later. Because he beat Hammer Kid. It was like 4 days later. He beat Hammer Kid, and he said, "Can I claim this?" And I was like, "Well, I'm going to make you wait an extra day because you were on the show, and it might not be fair." And we actually waited like 3 days, and nobody claimed it. No one else
played it.
So he downloaded, beat it. I think he said he beat it in like 5 hours or something like that.
John, I have a confession.
Yeah.
I don't feel good about this, but I'm going to tell the story. Hammer Kid. So when Hammer Kid was the life of the party, the life of our Discord for a little bit, I did something that I regret.
Oh, God.
So we were talking Hammer Kid. There was some jokes going back and forth, and I said, I'm going to find like a really good Hammer Kid GIF or like picture or something. So I went onto the Google and I typed in Hammer Kid porn.
Wow.
And let me tell you what happened. I did a bit alert saying that kid porn is not something you should be Googling.
Wow.
It's just like one of those things that you don't like. I'm not going to lie, for a good like 5 to 7 days. And I'm still a little nervous that like the FBI is going to show up at my house. It's just one of those things I didn't think of it. Like Hammer Kid, the video game, and we had porn at the end of it. But again, if you take away Hammer, now you have kid porn, and it just was not a good combo. And there was some messages that I've never seen before in my computer that I quickly exited out of. So if I don't hear from you, the FBI took me.
Who would I get to replace you? I'm trying to think of like I have to figure it out. I guess Hambone, you'd have to do it. I mean, he's into the golf already, so
yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Hope you're safe, buddy.
I lesson learned. Lesson learned.
Now I don't feel bad about lusting after a high school girl in a video game. You've got Hammer Kid porn. Drew,
Apparently.
Tell me about the results of Mario Golf. I hate that it's not Mario Golf 64. It's just Mario Golf. Tell us about the results of Mario Golf League 2.
It wrapped up. It was a blast. The game was hard. Some people, I think, struggled with this game. I blew my load too early. I ended up losing. I always blow my load in these tournaments. You know what it is? But
just a load blower.
Wrapping up, we had a lot of money to give out. We had $50 to give out. I myself won $5 for being the season-ending champ. So I finished in first place after the 4 weeks. We did 3 random drawings. So everyone that partook, all 9 of us, had a chance to win this. Now, these people could have actually been people that won the lead. I didn't penalize them for winning the lead to win the random. They could have won both. The 3 winners, $5 each, was Matt's Power, Jesse himself, and Spider Chan. And then for the league itself, $10 prize goes to second place, Nintendo, Nick, from also over at Game Pass News. And then first place, the man himself, the golf champion of the world, Hambone, Johnny.
He's so good.
He got it down. He knows it's Mario Golf.
I never thought I'd see anybody beat you in a golf game. And like between Max Power and Hambone Johnny and even Kevin, like I'm just shocked there's such good golf going on.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
It was a fun time. Great stuff. Glad it's over and away. Get a little break until this Strikers thing pops up soon that we'll be talking about.
Yeah, I felt bad about not even competing in it, but I'm not a big golf fan and I'm not an N64 fan, and this was like a perfect storm. But it sounds like, some of the online matches were way too long, and they were very laggy.
Yeah, we had an issue. So we started doing was we done on when I played Nick, I done on voice chat with him. We actually did not play online.
Mm-hmm.
We just played the same course by ourselves, and we kind of like just chatting bullshit. And every time we finished a hole, we'd say, "Oh, I birdied it, I parred it." It worked fine.
Yeah.
I mean, the wind and stuff might have been a little bit different, so you could say, you don't know, but one person might have had an advantage over the other. But at the end of the day, it probably evened out.
Right. Yep.
Good stuff.
Cool. All right.
That's it for our bounties and other
so many
stuff.
Bounties and so many things. So that Kyber Brick bounty is still live. It'll be alive for a long time. We don't have anything new because we gave away so many prizes the last few weeks. I'm burnt out. So work on Skywalker Saga.
Dare I say, should we drop it to like an even 1,000 or something?
No.
Okay.
No, they actually increased the number of kyber bricks in the game, but we're keeping the number.
Okay.
So now you can miss some. So there you go. That's the break you need.
Okay.
Let's talk about what we've been playing.
What we've been playing.
Drew, I'm
John.
looking at the list of the games we've been playing, and it's a lot of the same stuff.
This might be quick.
It's
doubtful, but it might be
kind of crazy. How about we ping pong this a little bit? How about I'll start?
I like that.
Yeah, let's change it up. Black and yellow.
Yeah, let's slap them back and forth. Slap those dons.
All right, I'll start off with my first one. I have continued to play Switch Sports this past couple weeks. I posted this on Twitter. I got A rank in Switch Sports Soccer. I thought I was going to quit so many times because you can only play with random people. And when you get close to the A rank, you might get paired up with the biggest morons in the world, and then you lose, and they take away as many points when you lose as when you win. So when you lose, you then have to win to get back to where you were and then win again. So you have to kind of streak.
Let me ask Let me ask a dumb question. Like, if you're rank B, can you only get paired up with other rank Bs?
They do a pretty decent job of balancing out the matches. So no, you might be in a match with a rank E, but it's a 4-on-4, and largely
so the other team should have one E.
Yeah, the ranks kind of average together. I've seen some weird matchups where I'm like, if you just switch these two people, it would be better. I don't know what they're doing, but for the most part, it mostly averages out.
And you can't do 1-on-1 online?
No. It's 4-on-4, but that's what makes it fun. If it was 1-on-1, it'd be completely boring. I had a blast, but yeah, there was multiple times where I was like, I'm about to quit. The cool part is once you get A rank, you can't lose it. They start ranking you based on number. So when I got A rank, my number was 23. I don't know the significance of 23, but that was where I started. And then it's the same thing. When you win, you gain points. When you lose points. And then I got to 24. Then I dropped back down again. So I still love playing soccer, and I'm glad that they're doing the sheets with all the items you can earn, because that's what gets me to play soccer. But now that I'm rank A, I don't really care about the number rank. It can go forever. I'm done. But every week when a new sheet comes out, I got the new sheet this week. I finished it all. It was like a dance. The special prize was like a dance outfit. But yeah, I'm still loving Switch Sports.
I'm happy you're playing it. I am. But again, like you said, I mean, how long does this last for you? I mean, at some point,
it's going to go. I think I'm going to be playing it. Probably until they stop putting out new items.
How many hours does it take you to get the whole card?
I think with soccer's less efficient because if you lose, you get 30 points. If you win, you get about 40. Bowling, you can get like 120 points in a round. You know what? It's not long enough that it feels arduous. I just enjoy playing the soccer, and it just lets me earn these things. Once they don't give you the sheets, then I'm probably done.
They're going to give you the sheets for at least a year. You know that.
I hope so. Well, and remember, Bob Cousy, he said like he doesn't think there's going to be like cross promotions in it.
I don't either.
We haven't seen any cross promotions, but I think we will undoubtedly get cross promotions. I just think they're going to run through some of the key sports. There was a sheet for soccer. We've seen a sheet for tennis. We're seeing one for dancing, which isn't one of the sports. But the number of spaces for like all the bowling balls and volleyballs you can have is huge.
Really?
And most people right now only have 2 or 3 of bowling balls and 2 or 3 of like a tennis racket. So it's going to go for a while, but I think they're going to cross promote some of their games. So we'll see. Maybe with strikers, maybe we'll see something next week.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, you remember Mario Golf Super Rush, they're still supporting, and that's about a year old.
Right. Yeah, I expect it. So I'm loving it. How about you? What's your name? What's your game?
I'm going to go to the mobile and say Slay the Spire. I still play this thing every day. My wife still doesn't understand it. I'm like 140 hours in. It's just, it's relaxing for me. It's just mindless relaxation. The Ironclad, I'm on A19. I can't get over that hump, so I had to move on to the Silent, which I'm now at A13, climbing up there pretty quickly.
You keep
And
sending me pictures, and every time you
every
send
day.
them, I'm waiting to see if you did the 19, but it's always just the
No.
silent, silent, silent. I'm
Yeah.
curious
Well,
to see where you'll end up with the silent. You're so
Yeah.
good at this game.
I enjoy it, and it's funny, after like the first 8 battles if you're gonna win or not. You
You
just
need a
know.
good start. Yeah.
I and like you look at your stats, it's almost like it's not accurate because there's times I'll abandon my run without even dying. Like
Right.
it's not going well. I'm not wasting my time.
That's smart.
So
That's smart. I
yeah.
love it, and I suck at it. You're just so good, but
Like I said, I usually still play at least every morning with my cup of coffee, and then spread it throughout the day sometimes.
I've seen you play 2 or 3 times in the afternoon, and I go, are you working today?
Slow day.
Yes.
That's it. I'll throw it back to you.
All right. Let's start with this one, Persona 5. I have been talking about this for what feels like forever. I almost feel like I'm wasting my PlayStation 5 right now because I've been on this game since early May, beginning of May, I think. It feels like I've been playing it for a year and a half. I'm 32 and a half hours in, so that means I'm about 32% of the way through this game. I just finished the third palace today, so for anybody who's played this game, I just finished the third palace within the bank. I think my opinion stays the same. I don't have much more to say. I'm enjoying it. It's definitely the same thing over and over again. The story is good. Usually with these games, I get bored of the story because I just want to go. The combat is it's grindy, but I'm enjoying it. And you get we've gotten a new character every single palace. So we just got the new character Mitoko. Yeah. And yeah, I look forward to seeing who the new characters are. Every day that goes by, the one thing I always try to do when I get a chance is I go to the batting cage. I love the batting cage. And they only throw 5 pitches to you. But every day after school, they're like, hey, we should go to the palace. And I go, nope, we're going to the fucking batting cage. And I always do it. I like to work at the flower shop. I have a job at the flower shop. I earn money at the flower shop. Yeah, I'm enjoying this game. I think on the last episode, I said I am going to drop this game on June 13th when the PS Plus tiers come out. And I'm going to play something else. That is true. I'm going to play something day one when PS Plus unlocks its new tiers. However, I have decided I'm going to play this game out. So I'm not going to play this game exclusively, and it'll probably take me several months before I beat it. But I'm going to take time every now and again and come back to this game and just keep going until I finish it. So it's going to take a long, long time. But I just don't want to stop it. This is a game I can't imagine playing again. This game has no replay value to me. At all. I do want to say before I'm done, though, the completionist was trying to complete this game. And in order to do it, apparently when you beat the game, you get to pick a gift 1 out of 10. So in order to fully complete this game and do everything possible, you have to beat it 10 times.
Oh my God.
And the game takes 100 hours to play through. And certainly you can get more efficient the more you play it. But I was playing through this game, and like I told you, I'm 32 and a half hours in, and I'm thinking oh my God, can you imagine playing this game over and over and over and over again? Absolutely miserable. Insane. But love the game. I will beat it. I'm going to beat it by November. I'll beat it by my birthday. That's my goal.
No, you won't. You'll restart it at some point in July.
No. I'm never restarting this game. Never. All right, your turn.
A return theme you have for me is I did not start any new games in the last 2 weeks, and I don't know why. I just been in a little lull. I think I'm just waiting for strikers. So the other day I was just needed my Switch. I needed it. And what do you do when you need your Switch? You do it your comfort food. My comfort food, John, is Mario Golf Super Rush. So I jumped back in. Remember when they did that update a few months ago and they had the badges now on the homepage with it's like an achievement thing.
Mm-hmm.
I never really went back and did those. So I went back and I now have 4 of the 5 badges completed. You have to play the target golf and get some high scores. Kind of challenging, to be honest. That could be tricky. I had to go do the 1-putt challenge where you have to play New Daunt City and beat every green. You have to hit every green in one and then have 1 putt for every hole. And you do have a couple 2-overs, so you don't have to do it without. There was a fun one. You had the other shell top Sanctuary one, that other par 3 course, where every hole they gave you a new challenge. Like, for example, it'd be like a 80 yard shot, but you had to use driver.
Mhm.
Or like you had like a broken club, so like it was like a huge banana slice. It was different. It was cool. You had to strip them. You had to strip the ball in the water to get onto the green. So there's a bunch of like unique challenges like that. I did all that. The last one I need is double star clubs for every character, and I'm like
Oh,
2 characters away. I'm almost done.
you did a lot of that grinding early
I
on, I
did. I
remember, yeah.
did do that super early on. I was playing today. My daughter was like, "Oh, can I play?" And I was like, "Sure, we can play. I'll just do 2 players." And I think we could both collect star points at the same
Right, I was
time.
gonna say, you're gonna have to use
Double
this
dip.
character, though, because I need
I
star
did.
clubs.
Luckily, the
Yes.
last 2 characters are Peach and Rosalina. So I was
Oh,
like,
okay.
you could be one of those 2.
No, you
John-
gotta use Toad, honey.
John, she's fucking good. Like, she shot 15 under.
Really?
Oh my God. She was just birdie after birdie. I think she had 2 eagles. She was like chipping in. I was like, good Lord, like, wow. I mean, I shot like 25 under on that first course, but
Humble
you
brag.
know, yeah, but I love this game. I'll probably finish grinding that out this week until Strikers comes out. Just something to put the TV on and just not really pay attention and play.
Yeah, I know how you feel. It's like you don't want to get into something, you don't want to emotionally invest your something.
Yeah.
And this
Well-
is the perfect time to finish things off. You're finishing levels
Yeah.
in Slay the Spire, you're finishing clubs and all that jazz.
Yep. So that's that one. Back to you.
All right. Here's the other one I've been playing, and this is probably the last update I'm going to give on it. Darkest Dungeon.
Ah, fuck.
Yeah, this is the last one, and I'm not going to spend 28 minutes on it this time.
28 minutes last time.
But Darkest Dungeon, like I said, is an indie game that got a lot of fanfare. I bought it and didn't like it when I first played it, but I have been playing it. I am 35 hours in to this save file. So I've played this game for about 40 hours now in not a long period of time. In fact, I reset my save pretty soon before our last episode. And I love this game, but there are some things about this game that I hate. And I need to look up the developer and see what else they've done, because I think what they put together was something really cool. I like this dungeon exploration, but there is just some elements of this game. And the key ones are that you have a roster of heroes, and if they die in a dungeon, they're gone. It's permanent. And it sucks because you're trying to level them up. I think the max level is 6. You try to level them up, and if you lose a level 6 character, that's a lot of investment in money that you've put into upgrading their weaponry and armor, their skills, and then they're gone. And then you have to like start grinding up some other characters to get there. So for example, I lost my Houndmaster character. And so I've had to grind up another Houndmaster from level 2 to level 6. And that just means doing some easier quests, because you can't put them into like a more difficult quest. They'll stress out. And it's just so grindy. So at this point right now, I'm just trying to get as many level 6 characters as possible. I've learned that I love the Houndmaster class. I learned I love the Hellion class, the Vestal. So like the characters I used to like, I don't like as much. I like the newer ones. And what I'm trying to do is just trying to like hoard money. I'm trying to upgrade all my buildings, which I'm almost there. And I'm trying to get as many level 6 characters as possible, because here's what's going to happen. I'm very good at the beginner levels. I'm very good at the medium levels. I haven't even tried a hard level, and I haven't tried the darkest level.
Oh my God.
So it's
You're never gonna
basically
end.
like, yeah, and because if you die, you lose characters, and I'm just like terrified. And
today that I died, my character died.
Your character died, but then came back from the dead.
Love
Every so often, I don't know what the chances are, you can bring a character back from the dead. And so I brought you back. But yeah, there's some elements of the game that I really don't like. It's hard to go through the characters and see their stats. They're all the same. There's only like 10 to 12 different kinds of classes. So you'll have like 3 of a class, 4 of another class. I have 4 knights and 2 man-at-arms and all that. And you have to keep track of like what skills they have. It's a lot to really manage. But here's what I'm doing right now. I told you I'm hoarding. I am trying to level up as many people I can to level 6. There's all these achievements in the game for beating certain bosses and for getting characters to level 6. So I'm trying to tick off as many boxes as possible. And then once I get a whole bunch, I am going to attempt to do the darkest dungeons. And if I die and lose too many characters, I'm probably just done with the game. That's really all I can do. It's just super grindy now. I am on like week 80. So I have gone through 80 dungeons in this game.
Oh, good God.
But I will say I love it. I will say the developer came really close to perfection. I think I gave it a 9.5. I think I would bring that back to like a 9. But there's just a couple of things. Plus, playing it on the computer is probably a lot easier with a mouse than the joystick controls. And trying to manage your characters and the items, it's very difficult to do. But I've enjoyed it. But there's no way that I'll be playing this 2 weeks from now. I'm either going to beat the game in the next few days or quit the game in the next few days. But if I lose a bunch of characters trying to do the darkest dungeon, I'm not going to go and grind up a bunch more, and I'll be okay with that. So, yeah. So it's in the death throes right now. I do love it. I love it. It's great.
Nice.
All right, you got another one? I see you.
I went after it and I bought Hammer Kid. I played it. It's something. It was $10. And
we talked about that.
I mean, I've played worse games and I've played better games. Yeah, I mean, it's a platformer. It's a platformer game, right? You have like a Thor type hammer that you get upgrades for. Not many, like 1 or 2. And it's a collectathon as well, right? So there's 3 red gems in every level that are hidden throughout the level, sometimes in walls and stuff. There's another thing that I like that I've never really seen before is, so there's 3 red gems you have to find, but there's also these green, smaller gems scattered throughout the level. And there's a counter in the top left corner. So like it might start with 25. And every time you collect 1, it goes down to 24, 23, 22. So you try to know how many are left in that level, because every level there's a different amount. The red ones always stay at 3. And the thing is, it means nothing. Collecting them means nothing. It means nothing. You don't get anything. There's no achievements. It's just when you beat the level, it says you've collected 11 out of 20. That's all it says.
So there's no feeling of like
there's
I unlocked like, something or whatever.
Correct. So it's one of those games like the first 9 levels, I collected everything, and then I'm just like, let me just get through this fucking game. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
It got to the point where it's not a great game. It's just not a good game.
Right.
That's all there is to it. I mean, it's a platforming game that you're hitting some bad guys and stuff with your hammer. I mean, it's not really a spoiler. I think the first power upgrade is like you can throw your hammer. There's another power upgrade that gives you the ability to do wall jumps. And the wall jumps, after ever playing any Mario game, it's like a poorly executed wall jump. It's just it's like a delay kind of, so it's hard to go back and forth. And of course, there's parts of a platformer that have like spikes on the wall, and when it's not executed great, it's not great. Touche to Kuzi, he deserves the $20 because this game, it gets a little hard. I'm not gonna lie, it does get hard, but yeah, Hammer Kid, don't buy it. It's $10. Look it up, watch a video, say, oh yeah, that looks pretty shitty, move on.
And so ends the Dads After Dark story arc of Hammer Kid.
Well, I ended there. Agreed. unless I get confiscated by the FBI, then Hammer Kid lives on forever.
All right. Okay. We'll be there for you. All right. My last game, a new game. Something interesting. A little less stale.
An old new game.
A set of old games.
Set of old games.
I downloaded PacMan Museum Plus. It came out last week. I've been very excited for this. And so if you're not familiar, it is a collection of old Pac-Man games. And I usually do not like these Pac-Man compendiums because they do such a poor job with the UI and they make the game feel so stale and gross. I usually don't like these, but the key thing here is you have an arcade. And so as you play the games, you hit these achievements in the games, eat 10 ghosts. And as you hit those achievements, you earn items and you can decorate your arcade. So it's like Pac-Man meets Animal Crossing. I was very excited for it. And overall, I would say I liked this game. However, I have a few issues with it. Before I get to my issues, though, there's a bunch of games, and one of the cool parts is there's a lot of games that I never played before, and so I had fun playing Pac-Mania, which is like the earliest 3D looking one, where you can literally jump with Pac-Man. It's not even really a great mechanic, but it like accentuated the 3D that you jumped. I mean, this is a game that came out, I think, in the 90s, maybe the early 2000s. So there's like Pac-Mania, Super Pac-Man, which is always for some reason a favorite of mine, even though it's got some issues. Pac-Man 256, I believe it's called. This is a mobile Pac-Man game. And I really loved it. It's kind of like a roguelite Pac-Man, where you go from the bottom and you just have this, I think it's an infinite screen, and you try to see how high a score you can get. And you just keep going up and up and up and up, you know? And I really enjoyed it. I want to play more of that. So really discovering some Pac-Man games.
Oh yeah, this looks pretty interesting. I'm looking at some screenshots.
It really is. And I mean, I think with this game, you could play it on your phone. But again, having controls is much better.
And is it like an auto-generated map?
I think so. I haven't played it enough to know if there's an ending, but yeah, I get the sense it's just infinite.
Oh, that's pretty nifty.
There are some games that are terrible. Pac and Pal is one of the, not even one of the worst Pac-Man games. It's one of the worst games I've ever played.
It can't be as bad as Hammer Kid.
It is, it's like a defunct Pac-Man level with keys and some cards that you flip over, and then it unlocks the gate near the thing. So if you flip over a card and it's an apple, it'll unlock a gate near an apple, then you go get it. You have to get all the fruits. And there is a pal on the level that just goes around, and they could actually grab the fruit. And sometimes it's helpful because they might bring it to you. And sometimes it's not, because they might be running from you.
Oh man, that sounds terrible.
It is just so bad. Like, why? It's just like, here's Pac-Man with a couple of twists. It's horrible.
You know, I mean, Pac-Man is, you only can do so much with the poor guy.
You're right. Yeah. But in this game, sometimes you have to unlock games. So you have to play a game twice. So I had to play Pac and Pal twice, and I was done once I did it. But every game has achievements. They are not as fun as I hoped they would be. They're not unique. Every game's like, eat this many ghosts, get this score. It's just nothing really interesting at times. So I got like 80% of the achievements on Pac-Man and 80% on Super Pac-Man. And then they all have like some that are like, the score is just really high. You gotta be really good at it. So it kind of prevents you from getting 100%. I unlocked all the games, so I've played all the games at this point. And I've enjoyed them. There's no Miss Pac-Man, which sucks. I think there's licensing issues.
Can I ask you what the big stink is about Miss Pac-Man? Like, what is so great about it? Why is it different?
Well, Miss Pac-Man is the same level over and over again. Yes. Miss Pac-Man has different levels. So if you remember playing Miss Pac-Man, there's the level where you start off and you can immediately go down, and there's like that long one-way trail. So it's like when you go down there, you're committing, because if a ghost comes down there, you're just trapped. The levels are different colors. There's just a lot of visual variety to it.
So every level it's okay. I like that.
Yeah, they change them up.
Cool.
Yeah, but there's some licensing issues because they didn't make Miss Pac-Man. It's so weird. But yeah, like there's some good games, there's some bad games. You don't have to play the bad games. So overall, I have enjoyed it, and I haven't played it in a while, but I will. Here's the thing, though. Here's my biggest complaint about the game. They start you off in the arcade, and the arcade already has all of the arcade machines that you can get in the game. And it's already decorated. The entrance has a big balloon entrance. There are statues. It's already decorated. They give you a fully decorated arcade and then invite you to play Pac-Man and earn items. And then you can take those items and add them to the arcade. That is really one of the dumbest game design decisions, because you see all of these things right away and you can play these games right away.
Oh, yeah.
Additionally,
one game.
Some of the challenges will earn you an arcade machine. So if you play Pac-Man and do a bunch of challenges, you will see the list come down and go, you earned a Pac-Man Arcade. You earned a Pac-Man Arcade. You earned a Pac-Man Arcade. It's like what is this? And the reason is you can have multiple arcade machines of the same game, but you can make them different colors.
Jeez.
So conceivably, you can make an arcade with a row of 7 different colored Pac-Mans and 7 different Pac-Manias and all that.
But when you walk up to it, it's the same game.
It's the same game. It's the stupidest thing. There's no reason for that to be there. Here's what they should have done, and you sort of alluded to it. They should have started you. Oh, by the way, you can't increase this. You cannot increase the size of the arcade that I've seen. So as you earn more things, you literally cannot put all those things in your arcade. They don't let you make it bigger. And if
you upgrade your arcade.
It's actually a really small room. So if you make a row of arcade machines, I mean, it's going to clog up that whole area. Here's what they should have done. They should have started you in a room, maybe a small room, and there is one machine in there, and it's Pac-Man. And there's like a spotlight, and it's in the middle of the room. And the only thing you can do when you walk into the arcade is play Pac-Man. And then you start unlocking things. You unlock a statue of Pac-Man. You unlock a different arcade machine. And then you can play that game.
Yep.
So in addition to giving you a default arcade, they give you a computer that lets you play any of the games. So even if you don't have an arcade machine, you can play the game. And here's what's worth. They don't have arcade machines for all the games. So Pac-Man 256 doesn't have an arcade machine. You can never get it. You can only play it on the computer in the room.
Oh, jeez.
It's just the dumbest thing. Make an arcade machine. Yes, I know that game didn't come out in the arcade. I know a lot of the other ones did not come out in the arcade. Yeah. Just make arcade machines. You can't even see the art anyway.
Yeah,
It makes no sense. So they should have done it so that you feel like you are actually unlocking everything in the game. But instead, they gave you an arcade, and most of the stuff in the game you can do immediately. It's so dumb.
So dumb. It sounds like, Pac-Man fans, fun game, great idea, terrible execution.
Great idea, bad execution.
Yeah. Is this at a $40 game?
No,
30?
It's pretty cheap. I think it's like $20.
Okay, I was trying to say
it's not super expensive. I think the physical is $30 and the digital is $20.
Okay.
And I will say in the emulation, the Joy-Cons didn't give me great control. I've been playing it on my Switch Lite and using the D-pad. Take it what it's worth. A real joystick is the best way to control any Pac-Man game, and they just can't do it. But it's enjoyable. I don't know why they didn't design it that way. So it really takes away a lot of the mystery. By the second day I had the game, I had pretty much unlocked everything.
Oh, jeez.
So if the whole reason you want to play is to unlock things, it finishes pretty quickly. But if you want to play all these Pac-Man games and have some pretty hard achievements that you're trying to do, or you're trying to be a completionist, you'll love this game. Just find a good way to control it. Use a Switch Lite, or find something else. The Joy-Con kind of sucks really hard with it. But yeah, that was fun. I give it probably like a 7.5 or an 8.
That sounds generous.
Yeah. All right.
Last thing I'll touch on, continue to play through Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga. I only play this with my son. So, I think we're almost done with episode 7.
The new movies.
Yeah, we're in the new movies now, so he's learning a lot about. My kid is obsessed. He could name almost every Star Wars characters. We bought him a couple books for Star Wars. One thing is, when I tell my kids, is I never have a problem buying my kids books. That's the one thing. I probably spoil them, but they read them, so it's hard to say no. Do you know what I mean? If they want to read books, I'm not going to tell them no.
Right.
But yeah, I bought my son. It has this big, small kid Star Wars encyclopedia type thing, and he now knows every Star Wars character name. But yeah, he's good. He's probably better than I am at this game. I'm not gonna lie. Just from all the Lego games he plays. But yeah, the game's fun. I will say, I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing. I've seen a lot less glitches in this Lego game than a lot of the other Lego games in the past, because I know they're known for that.
Yes.
And I've only come across maybe 2, maybe 3. You had to restart or something. So for the most part, this one, it seems pretty good for all the
I wonder if that
content
was part of the delay, or the game's been delayed, I think, a couple times.
Yeah,
but,
they were. Yeah.
I wonder if they really wanted to get it right, because this game is different than all the other Lego games. It's 9 movies. There's so much more content. Maybe they were like, we really want to get this one right.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, it's a great game. It really is. All the different planets and stuff. There's just so much content. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like every planet you can go to, it has like 3 or 4 different zones, and those zones are all huge. So it's good.
Cool.
I'll be playing that for a long time.
Yes.
It's chit chat time.
Drew, we got the second trailer for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Saw a lot of gameplay. I was really excited about this. We got a launch date, November 18th. Not surprising. Pokemon games always seem to come out in November. Let's talk about it. What did you think of the trailer?
Yeah.
You're a new Pokemon devotee. Not really.
No.
What did you think about it?
It's funny. Ever since I played through Let's Go, and then I followed it up with, what was the last one that came out? Whatever one I played.
Not Sword and Shield, but
Diamond and Pearl.
The remakes. Okay.
Yeah, I want to get excited. I'm like, oh, look, it's new. It looks cool, the concept. But then it's just like, I watch it. I'm just like, it's the same shit. And then I just think about the battling, and it's just like, no. I'm out. But I will say the little fire Pokemon guy, one of the starters, he looks pretty cool. I'll give them that. But yeah, I don't know. So walk me through this one from a mechanics point of view, right? What's the style of the play? Is there anything new with this one? Is this the common, how do you catch them? Is it still the normal fighting mechanics?
I don't think we know everything. I've heard bits and pieces. So
okay.
I agree with you. Pokemon games tend to look the same. But as I said to you, it's kind of a comfort food. You start with a new set of characters. You can start with a new Pokemon in a new world. You're doing a lot of the same stuff, basically. But it's comfortable. It's fun. It's one of those games you play while you're watching Netflix. You just grind out, whatever. Here are the things we know about this game. And by the way, I'm super excited. I love the trailer. I'm super excited. This is the first open world Pokemon.
Okay.
The last one, Arceus, was more Breath of the Wildy, but it wasn't open world. It was like hub spokes, right? You go into an area and you can go anywhere in that area. And that's not even true. There were some areas you couldn't get to in that area till later. This one apparently is open world. We don't know totally what that means. We don't know how much your progress will be hindered. But they say it's open world. So that's cool. The starters are all new. It's not a remake or anything like that. The style of the game looks like Arceus. But we still don't know if, when you want to do capture mechanics, if that is classic Pokemon where you have to battle a Pokemon and weaken it and then capture it, or Arceus style where you can just see a Pokemon and throw a Pokeball at it. I enjoyed Arceus, but they really made you catch a lot of Pokemon and stuff. So I'm totally fine if we just go back to the original way of battling and capturing from there. Don't make me capture 5 or 6 Pokemon to complete their entry in the decks. I didn't really enjoy that too much. Looks great. Lechonk is an instant classic Pokemon. It's the little pig with the perfect Pokemon name. I think it's my favorite Pokemon name of all time now, Lechonk. We are all Lechonk.
That's for sure.
But it looks great. The character customization looks like it's even better. That's something that they've been doing in the last few games, getting a little bit better with character customization. This time there's really advanced stuff. Just lots of different styles you can do. It's kind of cool to see them running and their tie wagging back and forth and stuff like that. The professors in the game, there's different professors in Scarlet and Violet, which I don't think we've seen before. So if you play Scarlet, there's a female professor. And then if you play Violet, there's a male professor who's like very chiseled face. Your friend in the game, like your rival or whatever, I don't know if we know what that is in this game, is just total hottie girl. So I'm very excited for that too. And yeah, characters look more realistic. It's going to be interesting. I'm really excited for it. I think we're going to get some of the advancements from Arceus, but some of the classic style too. Curious to see what the differences are. We'll learn a lot more as we go towards November, but it looks great. And I'm going to get Scarlet. Did you catch the difference between Scarlet and Violet? Usually it's not this stark. So Scarlet, the whole theme of it is like caveman, and Violet, the theme is future. And the names of the professors are sort of Spanish, partial Spanish words for future and I think past. Okay. So if you play like in Violet, the legendary is a Pokemon with like a jet engines on its legs. You know, but if you look at the characters in the Scarlet, they look like Flintstones. So I like the Violet, but my son wants to get Violet, so I'm going to get Scarlet, which is fine. I'll have the female professor. I like that anyway.
Of course you do.
It looks fantastic, and the big thing I caught from the trailer was the Poké Centers look like kind of like gas stations. It looks like a pump with a big hood over it. And the first thing that hit my mind was, oh my God, you know, when you go to a Poké Center because you want to refresh your Pokemon and you have to walk through the front door and then get a little loading animation. And then you have to walk up to the lady and then give her the Pokemon.
Yep.
There's no door on the Poké Centers. So you can just walk right up to the lady, give her the Pokemon, dun, 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 and then you're done. I think that's what it is. So that's awesome. Like just anything to cut down on the fat. Just let me do my thing.
No, that's true. Especially that you do so frequently in a game.
Exactly. And like I love to like go around, hunt. And then when my guys are low on health, I'll go to the Poké Center. I don't want to use my items. I'll go to the Poké Center, refresh them all, save your game. You feel great. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think it looks fantastic. I can't wait to play it. And it comes out the week before Thanksgiving. So I'm already planning on taking the whole week of Thanksgiving off and just playing tons and tons of Pokemon. Mm-hmm. Look great.
Nice.
You think you're going to get it or probably not?
Probably not.
Okay. You'll be playing Star Wars. The other game we got to see is Sonic Frontiers. This is the open worldy kind of Sonic. Yes. And we finally got to see some footage of it. And it was like a 7-minute video. It looks like IGN has the rights to showing off gameplay.
Yep.
And I've got some opinions about it. What did you think about it?
First of all, my son has been just as much as Star Wars deep into the Sonic world. So I played a lot of the Sonic games growing up, but I don't know a lot about like the deep lore of Sonic, right? And I'm sure there'll be a lot of like references in this type of game. It looked okay. I guess my problem was, the gameplay footage, there was obviously the trailer, but then the footage was up this tower, right? Mm-hmm. It just looked like there was also a lot of emptiness. Mm-hmm. But, Sonic being a fast character, is he going to get through that emptiness quickly? But as far as the gameplay going up that tower, I don't know. Sonic itself, the character of Sonic is a unique character. It's not like Mario. Do you know what I'm saying? It's a much different character, which or Link, right? So
they are different characters, yes.
It's very different play style of a character. I don't know how it's going to work, right? They have these grinding type bars like you would with it. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I'm going to get it, 100% getting it, 100% going to play it. But it could suck. It could suck. I don't know. I mean, what's your opinion on it?
Here's my opinion of it. I'm not a big fan of typical Sonic gameplay. Mm-hmm. I didn't even enjoy Sonic Mania. I don't enjoy the fact that the game says go fast and then punishes you when you go fast by making you run into something and you lose all your rings.
Yep.
So normally I'd be like, I'm not interested in this. I'm not interested in Origins or anything like that. So I will say when I saw this footage, I was like, wow, this does look like a big empty world but like you can see the sky just impeded with rings and tracks and stuff like that. But it looks like a big empty world with rocks and stuff around, and you go flying around and you get stuff. And then there's like the puzzles, which are really weird. There's a sign and then there's like some simple puzzle and whatever. overall, I'd say it looks like Xenoblade without a story.
Yeah, yeah.
Just too big and empty. But I will say it's different.
It is different.
I'm going to keep my eye on it. I might be into it.
Wow.
It doesn't. Like I'm looking at it going, this looks. I know, but I'm looking at it going, this looks bad. This looks boring.
It could be bad.
Yeah. What kind of? It's not going to have a deep story or anything, but it's different. So cool. I like games that are different. So maybe this will be a game I will enjoy. I don't think so. Listen, but I'm just glad they're doing something different.
I agree. And I think there's enough diversity in the Sonic character himself and all the other characters in the Sonic universe. With even, I think Sonic does have a lot of cool level designs in the different areas and zones. Yeah. So it could be good if maybe they just wanted to show us a small portion of the scale and vertically of that puzzle or the tower, whatever you want to call it. But it could be good, like you said. I'm gonna give it a go, but like you said, I put my eye on it as well.
Yeah, and we might see different gameplay. I mean, that was a 7-minute footage, and we saw like a set of footage where he's fighting enemies. None of it looked great or anything, but we might see footage. Maybe we'll see some story stuff and get a better idea of what's going on in this world.
Yeah, agreed.
Speaking of different, Diablo Immortals came out this week. It is a mobile Diablo.
Mobile Diablo.
I downloaded it. I'm a decent Diablo fan. I downloaded it, set up my character. I chose the Necromancer, who was hot out of the box, so I didn't even customize her. And I am not gonna lie, Drew, I played the game for less than a minute before I deleted it off my phone.
You didn't even get to level 2.
I did not, because the controls of this game, if you're just using your phone, there's the invisible control stick on the bottom left corner and the invisible buttons on the right corner, and you play holding your phone like a switch, but you don't have real joysticks. Not worth my time at all. I can't. Diablo's a game where you could play 100, 200, 300,000 hours. I'm not doing that on my phone. So the only way I would play is if I had like a backbone or like a controller that I can slide my phone into, which I don't. So I'm not playing.
So the problem with those types of joysticks, I find in those types of games is when you're using your thumb and you're holding in one direction for a long time, 30 seconds later you'll notice that your thumb is now like in the middle of the screen on your phone.
Right. Yeah.
Because you're like I want to run fast. You just slowly, you probably do it with a joystick and a controller. You just don't realize it, right? You're pushing that joystick a little bit harder because mentally you think you're running faster. Yeah. So yeah, I played it to like level 2, so I probably played it a couple more minutes than you. I will say the game looks fantastic. I don't think there's any debate in that. We all know Blizzard puts out good content graphically, right? And the game itself actually has a lot of good reviews from a content point of view. So it's torn, because I agree with you. As much as everyone knows, I love playing mobile games. To your point, John, I can't play this game for 100 hours, right?
Correct.
And I also love Diablo. I mean, without Diablo, John, this podcast wouldn't exist.
Exactly.
So me and you have a rich history with Diablo. So I also said, well, the backbone controller / script, whatever you want to call it, is like the number one known controller for phones, right? So let me look at it. Do you know how much it is, by the way?
I have $50.
So that's what I was hoping. It's $100.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's pricey to say I'm going to spend $100 to play Diablo,
and then carry that with me on in a car ride, and always have it with me to play.
Correct. And you could argue, well, I could play other games with it and stuff like that, but a lot of mobile games are also designed to play with touchscreens, right? They're not all this.
Right.
They also have these loot boxes, which bots crates, loot boxes, pay to win, whatever you want to call it. So that takes away some stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's a free to play game.
It is free to play.
Yeah, but it's going to be mobile-y.
So there was an article, I think Episode posted, right, that said if you wanted to just from the start, like just pay and get everything upgraded, it costs over $100,000.
That's fucking stupid though.
It's
That's
stupid.
so stupid. You don't have to fully gear up and
No, you don't. But you know what? If you read the article, it also says if you also wanted to reach that match, so that's like the Paragon levels. Like it's
Right.
all of that. If you didn't want to pay, it would take about 10 years. They said of playing, and I don't know how many hours. If that's an
Yeah.
hour a day, what that means. But I don't know. So this game is on the PC, which
Mhm.
is interesting, right? You
You
can
know
play
why
it.
it's on the PC, right? When they announced this game, I think it was at an E3.
Oh yeah, everyone bitched about it.
Everyone went crazy. So they did port it to PC, but they can make money off people playing on the PC because they know if people don't want to play it on mobile, they can just go play it on PC and they'll get the money, the same thing.
Correct.
So it makes sense for them.
So let me ask you this. Does this game ever come to the consoles? I mean, this is, from what I
Yeah.
understand, a full-blown Diablo game. This is like Diablo 3. Maybe a little bit smaller, but it's up there.
I think it will come to the consoles eventually. They're probably working on it now. I don't know if I'll be interested in it, but yeah.
I'd be interested in playing it from start. I mean, I'd be interested to see if they dropped the whole loot crate type thing if they brought it to consoles.
They'd have to change some of the look of it. And I don't know. I don't think the PC version's out, right? I think it's like a beta, or I don't think.
Yep.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
But it just made me want to play Diablo 3, and makes me wait for Diablo 4. I mean, so I don't know if it comes out on Switch in like 5 months. Maybe you get curious and they take out the microtransaction stuff, but I don't think they will. So I don't know. I don't
know either.
There's just so much to play right now, and yeah,
Agreed.
no, it did look great though.
It did.
All right, and then a little bit of news we got this week. It's really not news. A little bit of news. Nintendo pumped out a picture of Super Nintendo World. It's coming to Hollywood, California.
Yes.
Universal Studios. The only thing that I saw was different is they said early 2023. They announced this a few months ago that it was coming. I mean, we've known it's coming to California. They've been building it. We've seen tons of pictures.
They've been making good progress, yeah.
But this time they said early 2023. Last time they said 2023.
Yeah.
Now, I think a lot of us made the assumption, and you're a Disney guy. A lot of us made the assumption if you're going to come out with it, they're going to do it spring season. That's just the big season. Spring break, summer, that sort of thing. You don't like, start it like December. Early 2023 is in line with those expectations.
Agreed.
And Michelle and I are making plans to go to Universal next summer. We're ready to go as soon as they. Yeah. Oh yeah. As soon as they confirm that it'll be up and running in summer
with a date.
We're gonna go. Yeah, we're gonna go next summer. So super excited for this. We're going to buy all the things. We're going to eat all the things.
Yeah.
And we're going to document all the things. We're going to be one of those people.
The shop, John, is already open.
Yeah, one of the shops.
Well, the big shop. The big Nintendo shop is open.
Yeah. It's going to be fantastic. And I'm expecting April. I'm still expecting April or March.
I think so too. Yeah, this is in my cards, right? We've been wanting to bring the family to Disneyland, so this is, Disney World itself is, I don't want into the heart of it, but it's changed a lot, and I'll leave it at that.
It's in Florida.
Yeah, we've talked about we've talked about going to Disneyland, and I think next year it will be the perfect opportunity now that this is going to be open. Because my kids would love this too; they're both huge fans, just like your kids are. So.
We're going to have to coordinate this because
I know
once we know that this will be open for the summer, I think we should plan a date where just in the dad's Discord, we all kind of say, there's no way we'll be able to pick a perfect date.
No.
But here's the date that, maybe you and I pick a date that we're going to go, and it's enough into the summer. Everyone's kids are off, and see how many Nintendo dads show up. How cool would it be to have a picture with everybody? Cool. In there, but yeah, like if this is where we meet, this would be fantastic. We'll get a picture, ride the Mario Kart together. I'm super excited for it.
Yeah, it's gonna be a blast.
We'll see all the Nintendo dads there.
Yep.
All right, it's time for TV dads.
TV dads.
How should we do this? What have you been watching?
I think we did get the elephant in the room out and start off with the bang. Have you finished Stranger Things season 4?
Well, yeah, I think they put out like 7 episodes.
So the 7 episodes that are out.
Yeah. Yep. We got through them all.
Obviously it's still new. I don't want to do spoilers, I guess
Mhm.
you could say, but by far, this solidified that this is my favorite television, this series I've ever seen. Period. Like favorite.
Really?
All of Stranger Things.
Wow.
I just love the series. I thought this was now my favorite season, right? So I think it's like my favorite season now is probably those 4, 1, 3, 2. Because season 2 sucked. That wasn't a.
I fell off the show in 2. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't talk about season 2. I mean, what was your overall take of this?
It's fine.
What?
I fell off of the show in season 2, and so season 3 was just Michelle watching, and I was in the room. But I actually got into it. I like the whole mall thing. This one I wasn't super excited for, but I'm watching it, and I mean, it's fine. It's not the best show of all time.
We rewatched all 3 seasons, like over the last 2 months in prep for this. So good.
And then you played the video game.
I did.
And then you ate waffles.
Play the video. Actually, I booted up the video game last week.
Did you?
Yeah, Stranger Things 3.
Nice.
It's a good game.
Yeah, the thing about this show that's weird is they said it's $30 million an episode, and I'm looking at it going, what did you spend your money on?
Well,
I mean, there's some
actors.
CGI effects and everything. Yeah, and certainly the cast, but like, what did you spend your money on? I find that a little weird. There's like a whole bunch of scenes where they're in the upside down.
Yep.
And it's very blue, and I'm like, this is like when you watch superhero movies and like when the CGI is blue and everyone makes fun of it.
Really?
It's like there's some scenes. Remember the scene where Steve takes his shirt off, and he's down there, and it's just so blue, and it's like, this is ugly CGI stuff. It's unnecessary. I would say the best season is still season 1, because
season 1 is one of the best. I'll give you that.
Yeah, because the kids played D&D and they were on their bikes, and it really had that sort of ET feel to it.
That ET, Stand By Me. I mean,
yes,
it was all of that. I agree. That's why I think this was pretty close to saying it was better than 1 or not. And you'll never be able to, recapture those moments. You just can't.
It's a good season. It's weird to see some of the kids looking really. Some of the kids are like Lucas. I was still convinced that it was a different actor. I was like, oh my God, this guy.
I will say, and this isn't a spoiler, but the kids are a lot older, and I feel like the writers knew that. Sometimes shows are like, oh no, they're still young. Let's, we have to pretend that. I think the writers knew they were older, so they kind of played into it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I'm saying? I never felt like they were too old to play the part in the show.
Right.
I mean, they're in high school now. They seemed like they were in high school.
Right.
So I had no problem with that.
They're older, and the last season was a while back, with COVID and everything got delayed. So yeah, it's fine. It was the first episode was really culture shock though. Like Mike looks so much older,
and he's so tall, and
some of the characters didn't change a lot, especially the older kids.
Can we just agree? Max
is my favorite character now.
Max is great. Jonathan blows.
Jonathan looks like a drug addict.
Yeah, I know what happens. I mean,
he's hardly in the season. Like he's there, but like he's really
nuts.
Not. And the last couple episodes, like where did Mike and Jonathan go? Like they went missing. They'll come back, I know, but and I really haven't enjoyed. I don't want to get spoilery, but I haven't enjoyed what they've done with 11. At all. I don't like what they did with the character in the beginning, and then they just pulled her away from the whole cast for like 4 or 5 episodes now. I want to see 11 interact with her friends. I don't want to see her isolated.
Can't. I mean, you got to remember, 11 is not a normal human being.
I know, but I don't need that story.
Superhero in a way.
Yeah, but let her be a superhero with her friends. That's what I want to see.
Can't. She's not just going to be a normal living child.
Well, she's eventually going to reunite with them and then unleash all sorts of magic. We know that.
I mean, she's been in hiding for the last 2
Right. Let her stay in hiding with her friends. Like, she doesn't need to be in a science experiment for like 5 episodes. I want to see her interacting with people. She's in a pool. I hate it. But yeah, it's good. Is there anything else we both saw? No, I don't watch a challenge. Give me a rundown though. What have you
So
seen?
Survivor wrapped up season 42. It was a good season, a lot better than 41.
Fuck.
And after that ended, I switched over to MTV, The Challenge, on Paramount Plus. I love that shit. I eat that shit up. I don't know why.
I can't
bad.
stand
I
reality.
know it's bad, but I love it.
Yeah.
I also watched last night. Actually, it's one of those movies that wasn't good, but it's like it's in your mind. You can't get it out of it. You keep thinking about it. I don't know if you've seen this or heard of it. Old.
I do want to see it. Where did you see it?
It just came out on. It's on one of them, Netflix or I'd have to ask you. I'll text Amy and I'll get back to you. But it's the M Night. How does he pronounce the name?
Shyamalan.
Yeah, he did The Village, The Sixth Sense, big time actor. He writes great movies. So essentially, what it's about is, these people. I won't even tell you how they get there, what happens, but it's essentially this
I've
island.
seen the trailer, but yeah,
when they're on this island, it's like 30 minutes equals 1 year, or something like that. It's cool. Amy said it was terrible. The actors are the weak part of the movie, but I thought it was intriguing. Like I wanted to, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? I enjoyed it. You should watch it. Watch it, Michelle. It's let me say, I'll find out what it's on. I'll Google it.
I love Shyamalan. Even some of his bad movies I enjoyed, like The Happening with Mark Wahlberg.
Yep.
Even though the ending was stupid, I was intrigued the whole movie. Yeah, I agree with you. Even if the movie's not good, he does interesting stuff. He does.
Yeah.
He comes up with interesting storylines. The Village is one of my favorite movies. I love The Village. Sixth Sense is masterpiece.
Did he do Signs too? I think
he did Signs.
Yep.
I really enjoyed Signs. The Lady in the Water was really good. So I do enjoy.
I saw that one.
Yeah. Again, you know how he got like Sixth Sense had the big twist thing. So then all the movies have twists.
Yep.
Sometimes you can predict them because you now know to expect it. But Old looks really good. I'm definitely going to watch it.
I'll find out what it was on.
Okay. Reminds me of the scene. Remember, have you seen Interstellar? I love Interstellar.
Oh, I love Interstellar, and I've watched it multiple times. It's just, it's one of those movies that's not as good as the first time you watched it, but I love it.
Yeah, it is one of the, I think I have it in my top 10 movies of all time.
Yeah,
that one part of the movie where time is advancing very quickly reminds me of Old.
Oh, is that the one on the island with the water?
On the planet with the water, yeah.
Island planet. And the last show I'll mention is Better Call Saul. This is the spin-off series from Breaking Bad. So we watched Breaking Bad, I think maybe even the pandemic first started. And then towards the end of the pandemic, we watched Better Call Saul, like the first 3 seasons. And if you've watched any of these shows, they're dry, but there's a lot of like big things that happen here and there. So it really keeps you going, even like on the thread. And then we decided to pick it back up, and we watched like the last of the 3 seasons, and now we're currently up to date. And the last I think they pulled like a Stranger Things. Like I think they had like half of the last season, and now there's a few more episodes that need to come out. And they left it with like an ultimate huge, like shocking moment. Not a cliffhanger, but like, holy shit, did that just happen?
Right.
And it's good because if you watch Breaking Bad, it has like a lot of those characters are in this one.
I love Breaking Bad. That's a top.
Did you watch any of this?
We watched, I think, about 3 episodes and just got so bored, and we never went back to it.
It's really boring at times, but like you said, there's just they'll throw something in one episode that's like that keeps you busy for 5 more episodes.
Yeah.
It's good. It's fun. It's another great show. But that's all I'll talk about. We watch like 1 episode or 1 movie a night of TV. Typically,
that's what we do. Yeah, like we don't marathon shows. We watch an episode and then we let it simmer for a day, and then we watch
Stranger
the next
Things. I think we did watch in like 3, maybe 4 nights.
Those are long episodes too.
I know they were long. But what about you? What else? What else you been watching?
I've been watching some weird stuff. The first one is this show came on Netflix a handful of months ago. It's called Saturday Morning All-Star Hits.
Oh boy.
It stars one of my favorite SNL cast members, Kyle Mooney.
Okay.
And I didn't know what to make of this show. I didn't even see trailers, but I knew he was doing it. So this show is a riff on like 80s or 90s Saturday morning shows. And I've come to find out it's like a parody of a Canadian show with these two hosts, these two blonde dude hosts from the 90s. And Kyle Mooney plays both characters. And they do a really great job with, when you have two characters at once and you overlap. Really good job with him talking to himself. It's really convincing. Like, I'd love to know how they did it because it's better than I've ever seen. And they'll even have him. He'll even play some other characters that come on and talk to himself. So they really did a great job with it. But he's just they're just introducing cartoon clips, just like a Saturday morning show. And so they go like immediately right to this show about a dinosaur who lives in, human civilization. And you're watching it and it's like, what is this? Like, I'm watching a cartoon show. Like, this is really weird. And then the first episode ends. So Michelle does not like Kyle Mooney. He's kind of like, you either love him or hate him on SNL. So I started watching the whole thing and I marathoned it the whole next day. And so what this show is these two characters that are hosting a show, but it becomes like a meta show because what happens is one of the characters starts getting more popular because he does a guest voice acting bit in one of the cartoons. And then he becomes more of a star. And then the other guy gets sort of like shit on. Like nobody cares about him, but they care about the brother Skip. And it's this whole melodrama between them. And Skip is becoming like he's kind of insulting his brother and all that stuff. So you just have to watch it. But like the first couple episodes, you're just like, what? We're just watching these weird cartoons. It's really good. I would say watch the whole thing in its entirety. I'm not really recommending it, but like watch it in its entirety and you'll see what's going on. It's pretty funny. So I really enjoyed that. And there's lots of like get voice actors in it. Emma Stone is in it. Beck Bennett from SNL is in it. Paul Rudd, Chris Redd. Lots of people involved in this project. So I enjoyed that. Then I watched The G Word. That's on Netflix. Oh, Saturday Morning All-Star Hits is on Netflix as well.
By the way, Old is on HBO.
HBO Max? Okay, I was just about to like put that on suspension, so we'll watch that. So The G Word. This is one of my favorite human beings on the planet, Adam Conover's new show. So if you've ever seen Adam Ruins Everything, have you seen Adam Ruins Everything,
I don't
Drew?
think so.
Oh my God. It's one of the greatest shows I've ever seen. But Adam Conover is a comedian who's sort of an information disseminator. And so Adam Ruins Everything was a show where there'd be a topic for each show and he would like do these funny bits and talk about and inform you. And he goes, actually. So anyways, that show got canceled because the channel got bought by Time Warner. The G Word is a show about government. They go into certain topics of government and it's specifically about how government works. So there's one episode that goes into how the FDA works and then how banks work and kind of what goes on behind the scenes. There's a show where they talk about GPS and they actually show the room where all the GPS satellites are being managed. It's like kind of wild. And I enjoyed it. I mean, it's a show that you watch if you just want to be educated and laugh along the way. Like similar to like Last Week Tonight or something like that.
You ever watch Bo Burnham?
I don't know Bo Burnham.
Bo Burnham.
Burnham. I don't know. What is that?
No, he's a comedian, but he has a show called That Stone Is Gonna Be Famous. Amy used to watch it. You I think it'd be up your alley. Yours and Michelle. It's a short sitcom.
I love learning by laughing. So like The Daily Show, stuff like that.
He's just a comedian sitcom and he's trying to be famous. So he hired these two kids to record everything he does.
Oh, okay.
But it sounds like something you would enjoy. Anyways.
So we got through that. I think there's only about 6 episodes to The G Word for now. And then Stranger Things. And the show I've been waiting so freaking long for over a year finally came out Friday. The Boys season 3 on Amazon. I love this show. This is probably my top 10 favorite shows of all time. Have you watched The Boys at all? You ever see The Boys?
I can't remember if we tried it and didn't like it or if we were gonna watch it and then didn't. I think we were gonna watch it and didn't watch it.
It might be more of a guy show. It is a show about a set of superheroes called The
I
Seven.
watched the trailers and stuff. And
they really do have superpowers, but they are managed by a corporation. And so in addition, I mean, they save people, but it's almost like they're saving people for the company, and they do movies and all that stuff, but they actually are superheroes. So it's like
Yeah.
a Marvel Cinematic Universe, but with real superheroes.
Okay.
But most of the superheroes are complete dicks. Sexual harassment.
Yeah.
The main guy, who's supposed to be a Superman ripoff, is like a complete psychopath. It is a gory show, but there are so many great characters in the show. If you don't like gore, you probably won't like it. But it's not a show that's all about gore. The characters and the storylines are great riffs on real world events. Super done. When I watch shows these days, I generally am on my phone or playing my Switch. I just sit and watch this show. I love it. And so season 3 introduces a new character, Soldier Boy, who is played by Jensen Ackles, who is one of the brothers from Supernatural. So my wife has spent a lot of time avoiding the show, and I tell her stories about how, like, guys having sex with a dolphin and that sort of stuff.
Nice.
And she doesn't want to watch it. But when she found out Jensen was on season 3 and she's a Supernatural freak, she is now watching season 3 with me.
Yes.
And there is gore.
Nice.
Let me just explain the first scene from the first episode. There is a scene where this guy is fucking a doll, and it's very confusing. Everyone's watching and cheering him on at a bar. It turns out this guy is a soup. They call them a soup. And he can shrink himself. So what he did was he was shrinking himself. So he goes back to his room, and his partner's there, and it's a guy. And they're doing cocaine and whatever. And the partner says to him, "I want you inside me." So you're like, oh, okay, we're about to get like a sex scene. No, the guy shrinks down, and the other guy puts his dick on the table, and the guy goes in through the urethra, the dick hole. And they made one of the craziest 3D renders of a dick. Even if you don't watch this show, just watch the first scene of episode 1 of season 3. I'm imploring everybody, watch the first scene of episode 1 of season 3. He walks into the dick, and he's inside, and he's rubbing it, and the guy's like, "Oh yeah," like I don't know how that would be enjoyable, but he's like, "Oh yeah." And then at one point, the guy like almost sneezes, and then he keeps walking down his dick, and then he sneezes, expands to his normal size, and obliterates the guy with guts all over the room.
Nice.
Fantastic. You got to see the dick. It's hilarious. So that's what I'm watching.
Okay. I'm going to load up the dick.
Michelle's having a hard time getting through this. She just wants to see Soldier Boy.
She said a long ways to go.
Yeah, we're on episode 3 tonight, and then they go weekly. So they give you 3 episodes, and then they go weekly. But I cannot recommend The Boys enough, even if maybe Amy doesn't want to watch it. It is an amazingly well-written, great show, entertaining. Every moment's entertaining, great characters, everything.
I'll have to give it a go. Yeah. Did you guys ever watch the movie I told you to watch, Fresh?
Which one was that?
Down. The one with what's his guy's name? The guy that plays Bucky from the Avengers. Oh, I forget the actor's name.
I remember thinking I was going to go see it, but I can't remember which one that was.
Just Fresh. Write it down. You, Michelle, should go watch it.
On what?
I don't know which one it's on.
How do you not know?
Just I fucking watched it like 6 months ago.
I can remember the interface where I seen the picture of the show. That's how I remember it.
Don't Google it because it kind of tells you some stuff. Hulu.
Oh, Hulu. I hate Hulu. All right.
Well, just fucking do it. You'll like it.
All right. That was TV Dads. That was fun though. We've had that a few weeks in the making. Let's talk about what people think we were supposed to talk about before we talked about pillows and mattresses.
And penises.
Mario. We are 5 days away from Mario Strikers Battle League coming out. And they put out the demo called First Kick, right?
First Strike?
First Strike? Okay, First Strike. That demo has been playable all through this weekend. You can play online with people. And what else is there to say? I mean, this is Mario Strikers.
There was the tutorial demo, right? That walked you through all different aspects of the game. How to play, how to defend, how to
training.
Shoot,
yeah.
The training. Let's start there. What did you think of the training? It's overwhelming. There's a lot.
I will say up front, I was not going to play this demo. I wanted to just wait for the game to come out, but I decided I really wanted to get a feel for it because you were complaining about the controls a little bit.
A little
so
bit.
I haven't played the game online, but I played through all the tutorials in the training.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say, man, I love the look of this game. It's smooth.
Yeah, agreed.
And there's a lot you can do. It's not just, mostly with these kind of sports games, it's like what? Pass, shoot,
yes.
change your character. That's it. That's it. Maybe there's some advanced stuff. That's it. I love there's passing, there's lobbing, there's shooting, there's one-timers, there's dodging, there's hitting, what do they call it? Hitting, attacking, whatever. There's the hyper kicks. Yep. What do they call those? The hyper kicks?
Super strike or something. I don't know what they call them.
I think most of this, I think all of this stuff might have been in the previous games.
So
I
all
know
of that
a lot
was,
of it.
yeah.
Okay.
The lob passes, the one-timers, the way they do like the super kits is they changed it in the two games. This goes back to the original, which is a little bit better. Actually, it's a combo of the two. But yeah, there is a lot, right? It's not a button mashing game. If you're going into this game that you're just going to mash buttons and have fun, you're going to get your ass kicked.
Yeah, because you can just do pass and shoot. You just won't do really well.
Correct, right? So some of the new things that they added that we've never seen before is their stamina runs. When you try to do the stamina run, you actually kick the ball a little ahead of you. So there's some strategy with that. You're not just running turbo. They also do this charged hit. So when you hit somebody, you now have to like charge, and you see this little arrow glow. It's a new element of gameplay, right? Because if you do a charged hit and miss, your guy now kind of gets dizzy and he can't just recover and run away.
Right.
So there's an element that the best way I'm gonna try to describe this game is to like a Super Smash Brothers, right? Super Smash Brothers, you can jump in and button mash, and you might win a little battle here or there. Right. But at the end of the day, when you start playing good people, you're gonna get your ass kicked, right? And I think that's what's going to happen here.
Yes.
Is, I actually played 3 hours online. I joined 3 of these sessions over the weekend, and you're right. There's a lot of people learning how to play, but there was a couple people that would do like a power shot, and then you could cancel the shots, which you learned at the training, and then you do like this. You do this dodge, and you get a little turbo boost. So like, there's going to be people that know how to do this, and they're going to capitalize on it, and it's going to get tricky.
This has all the hallmarks of a game where the first week, if you play really well, you can just rake. Yeah. But then eventually people will sort of catch up and come up with techniques.
Agreed. So at first I was against the controllers. The first thing that I had a real hard time with was being shoot. I get it. Every other Mario Strikers game was always B, right?
Yeah.
So I was used to B doing that. The more I played, the more I understood. They didn't explain too much in the demo. So the first thing that the rookie mistake I learned is when you do your selection, they have that auto or manual. And it doesn't really explain to you what it means. It just says, do you want to do auto or manual? And you're like, oh, I want to do manual.
Well, they do talk about it in the tutorial. So I guess they don't say it later, yeah.
So the problem I learned is if you select manual, you're like, well, I want to control my own guys. I'm going to do manual. When you pass it to another character, that character is now either, let's say, a computer player. So you can't do a one-timer unless you pass it with B, hit R to switch characters, and then hit A. So it's you would never really do that. So I recommend, first of all, auto is the way you want to go, it seems like. The other problem I think that made this game so difficult is you're playing online with people you don't know. And you never got to play this game yet by yourself, right? So
because you just played online immediately.
You have no other option. I did the tutorial.
Oh, okay. All right.
But I'm saying you couldn't play a game.
Like against the computer.
Correct.
Okay.
Because in the tutorial, right, when you pass, you can do the one-timers, stuff like that. In online, when you're playing with other people, you're never passing it to yourself.
Right.
It was never an option.
Right.
You'd always pass to another player. So it's like the one-timers just didn't really happen that often, unless you played with somebody that got it. So I think that was a lot of frustrating. And it's very fast paced, right? So again, you're still learning the buttons. You never get the opportunity to play against a computer player. So, like, oh man, what button do I push? And it's kind of a shit show. You got to remember too, this game has always been, people were bitching about the items. The reason people get items is because that typically means you body check somebody when they don't have the ball. That's how they get items.
You get an item if you get body checked, right?
If you don't have the ball.
Right.
Typically, if you have the ball and you get body checked, there would be no item awarded.
Exactly.
So don't just go fucking hitting people
if
they don't have the ball.
It's like a little penalty for something that they used to allow in the game.
No, they
I think you could do that before.
Yeah, but they would get an item.
I don't remember getting an item in the past games.
Oh, yeah. There's always been items in both of them.
Oh, okay. It is hard to remember. I remember the hyper kicking because I remember when you get the combo and then it's like you go into the screen and you're like, come on, baby. It's hard to tell what was there, what wasn't. The whole game has a different feel than the old game did to me.
Yeah, the controls itself there, I agree. It does have a very different feel. The only reason I know is I played the original Strikers probably a couple months ago on the GameCube and played all the way through it.
Right.
So I did a lot of, memories from that. But yeah, the feel itself, the controls are a little different. I just think everyone needs to play through like their own offline story mode and get used to it. And I think I think all the bitching will go away. And I don't know if I want to call it bitching. I think it's like Smash Brothers. No one just picks up Smash Brothers that never really played it and is good at it.
No, but you can you use different buttons and you hit. The only complaints you'd see from Smash are people don't know how to knock people off screen because you have to say you want to use the A and the side A and the up A to do that part because some people might not know that. But the sense that I've gotten is you were mentioning the controls and I've seen other people talk about the controls being a little complicated. And I was worried. I was like, how did they fuck up the controls in this game? But I totally see what you mean. It's not that the controls are hard, but you just have to let the controls get into your muscle memory, right? And the thing that makes me excited about Mario Strikers is right now it's not in my muscle memory. I went through tutorials and I was like, they teach you passing, they teach you shooting. I'm cool. And I'm okay with the shoot button being A.
I am too.
Because the two passing buttons have to be next to each other so you can kind of choose between them. Yeah. But once they started teaching the dodge stuff, then I started to lose it a little bit in my head and I'm kind of messy right now. But I'm so excited to get it in my muscle memory. It's not there. And when the full game comes out, I want to go through all the tutorials again.
Same.
Now that I've gone through it, I want to refresh. And I want to try to, I'm not going to play the game until I do the tutorials because there was a couple I couldn't do. They make you do a whole bunch in a game. There's 5 different things you have to do 3 different times.
It was kind of hard in the time limit.
I couldn't even keep track of what I needed to do.
I know. They should have did 2 at a time or something. I agree.
Yeah. And there's some things that you can't do them unless they have the ball. So you get the ball and you just shoot it and you're like, here, take the ball. Yeah. I need to hit you.
3
times.
I
can't.
Yeah.
So the one that was the hardest was if you hit your teammate into the player on the other team, they will instantly steal the ball. So you can really catch someone off guard if you do that because they'll fall and they steal the ball and you can just go.
Yeah.
But it is also that's going to be the advanced move that the really good players can do. The dodging is to me, it's almost like parrying. I hate parrying. You have to have lightning reflexes. So if somebody goes to hit you, you can dodge out of the way, but you have to be bam, but I am so excited to get all that stuff in my head and my muscle memory.
Same.
It's going to be fantastic. Here's one thing I will say. I think this game will play a lot better docked with a pro controller.
That's how I played it, yeah.
Whenever I'm playing a handheld game and I have to use L and R, you have to use L to change your character, R to dodge. Whenever I'm holding and I have to use both the trigger buttons, it's hard to keep the screen sort of steady. It's much easier to play on a pro controller, and which is unfortunate. I will play with handheld. Yeah. I think I'll be better with pro controller. So I think when we do tournaments and games that really matter, I'm going to dock it and play.
We'll have some late nights ahead of us, I think, doing some voice chat. So there's 2 things two more topics. The last one will be clubs, so I'll wrap that up with that. But I want to talk about when I went to go pre-order the game, which I did, I'm going digitally because it's going to be a game I'm playing for a long time. I don't want to have to worry about changing the cart out. There's a little caveat that says in-game purchases, and I sent that to you. And I guess, what does it mean, right? Are we looking too into this? Do you think this could mean you need like NSO online, right? And are they considering NSO in-game purchase? Like, you can't play online without NSO, or do you think this could be legit gear purchases? You know, because the other problem I have is, like, you look at Mario Golf, right? Mario Golf came out with all this DLC. The way new games are going, which I'm not a big fan of, is they give you this free DLC, which, sort of be wrong, it's nice, but wouldn't you rather have it, like, earn it, like unlockables? Which I'm nervous that this game's not going to have unlockables, but they'll just have future DLC.
Well, you can buy gear, so there's that. I don't know. I haven't played. I think you have to see when the full game comes out how it's going to go. I love unlocking characters. If they started me with just Mario, I'd be perfectly happy. Let me unlock everybody.
And maybe they will in the story mode.
Could be.
You know, I don't know. You know, throughout the old baseball games where you started with one and go to that stadium, and then you won Yoshi when you beat him, right? Then you went to Princess Peach's castle, and you know.
I am really tempted to take Friday off and basically play all day Friday through a story mode or campaign mode, and really just play it like crazy before I ever go online.
I want to do that as well. I have tomorrow off though, so I can't take Friday.
You should have taken Friday.
I have a golf tournament.
Oh God, come on.
So it'll be interesting to see what in-game purchases truly means.
Yeah,
I don't imagine like a battle pass or anything like that, but
Nintendo never goes too crazy with it. I'd love to see it, but they're not. I don't think they will.
But they don't really ever do with in-game purchases. I can't see for like $1.99 you'd have to buy this gear set, which would.
Nintendo doesn't like to make games with tons of microtransactions because they feel like that is something that parents don't like for their kids because they have to deal with it and like constantly buy things. So they don't accentuate it. And Nintendo doesn't really like to make games that they want you to play for 5 years. You know, that's why they don't support Animal Crossing anymore. They want you to buy other games.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I'll be honest. If it is microtransactions, I'm screwed. I'll put money into it. So the last thing, clubs. As you know, Dad's After Dark. John has already offered to stay up to midnight and make the club.
Well, it's only 10 o'clock for me, so it's true. It's perfect.
So we'll have it made instantly. So 10 p.m. for those guys that are live out, or maybe even 9 o'clock if you live out all the way out west. You can join our club instantly. If not, the next morning will be fine. It seems like 20 spots will be more than enough based on feedback. We'll be more than half full, but we'll have a little bit of room to spare.
And do we know how it's going to work? Like, do I have to invite someone with a friend code, or because I don't want to give it out because we're not going to let just anybody in the club.
So I do know that you can make clubs public or private. So if it's private, it either will need to be invite only or some type of password.
Yeah, I'm curious.
I do know that's going to be an option. I have a bunch of information I do want to talk about because if you went during the tutorial mode, if you push plus on the main screen, there's a game guide, and it actually had a shit ton of information about gear, about the characters, but there was one section about the clubs, and I pulled a lot of information in there. So one cool part is, as a member of a club, you have to register a striker. So you have to have like one character that, you know, whoever your favorite character is, let's say that you keep focusing on getting new gear for. And that has to be like your preferred character, and you have to like market for that. So the way I read it is, when you play a match, John, and you are selecting your character, let's say you're playing solo online, I think you could use like my Waluigi geared up that I made him with my stats, and you could use him on your team. So that's the way I understand it. You have to have a registered striker when you join a club. And you could change that, you know, whatever. But that's the way I interpreted that. If that's true, that's pretty cool. I could use your characters while you're offline.
Do you think we should all make sure we have like every different character covered? Because I don't know if there's going to be one character that's better.
We should definitely have a variety.
I'm happy to take Peach.
So playing online, I found Wario, believe it or not, is actually pretty good. He was one of my favorite characters to play with, to be honest. Toad was actually used toward a bit. He was pretty good as well. So
what kind of, as of now, I think it'll change once the game comes out. What kind of striker player do you plan to be? And I'll explain to you. Let me explain mine.
Mhm.
I really love the one-timers, and I really love, and I haven't played games, but doing the training, I love the speed element, pass, shoot, that sort of thing, deception. I'm really into that. I'm not into like power. I'm not into like try to do the hyper kicks. I really like the pass aspect, mix up your lobs. That's what I'm going to go for.
Yeah.
And those perfect one-timers.
I'm a little mixed bag. I like saving my items. I'm not like a big item frenzy guy, so I try not to hit and give items, and I try to save them. I like to get over half field, and I try to tuck myself right in that corner on the other side of half field, and I like doing a power shot. That's one of my go-to moves. But I also am a big lob guy across field to do like a header or bicycle kick. That's one of my favorite moves too. So I'm a little bit of a combo of both. I'm not pass. I'm more of pass it to my main guy and try to get a good shot in.
Okay.
But yeah, it would be interesting to see that.
I think strategies will evolve, and once we see, like, somebody come up with some strategy that's really good, and everyone will copy it, then they'll nerf it out.
I will say, I think playing online with other people, I'm more on your side with the pass-in strategy, just because I think it works better if you can communicate with somebody.
Yeah, and like, I mean, can you do do we know, like, you're going to do one-on-one? Like, you play somebody one-on-one and you control all the characters?
You can do that. That's an option. It's said that you could play online with nobody else. And then I believe you could do 2 people online. But for example, let's say you and Michelle wanted to play at home and me and Amy wanted to play. We could pair up and have 4 people playing online. But I think they'd have to be like with the same console. Does that make sense?
Is it like, so if Michelle and I were on the same console, would we control one team, or all 4 of us would be on one team?
All 4 of us could be on one team.
I see.
You would control one player. That's it.
I think this is going to be interesting because, like you said, you can't just like communicate to people, hey, go to the right side, I'm going to pass it to you. The action's going to be too quick, but you guys can strategize and say, here, we're going to try to have you go on the wing, and I'll stay in the middle in general. And then you eventually understand that I like, pass and shoot. So 2 people playing together, like if you and I played a lot together, we can get like on the same wavelength.
Well, think about it. If you were strictly like a defense player, you would make in one. Like you would choose maybe you would
Bowser.
choose like a Bowser or Donkey Kong,
right,
or someone that does have a wide range of hit.
Yeah,
because like you don't need the speed,
right?
So
I like Bowser. I honestly do like Bowser, too. But I always tend to like speed, so I might end up with like a Toad.
I like Bowser. Like I said, Wario's good. I was disappointed with Yoshi. I thought Yoshi would be a little bit better.
I like his hyper kick though.
I do. They're all pretty cool. Wario's like sits on the ball. It's pretty funny. Club owner. There's a couple of stats I want to talk about. The club owner manages their club. You can change the club owner. You can reassign them. The club owner can change the name. They also control the uniform appearance, and they control the club stadium and what it looks like. So club customization, this is where it gets a little interesting. There's a lot of stuff you can customize as a club. When a member plays in a season or an open match, tokens are added to the club's earnings. So that's what you win. As a club and a team, you're earning tokens, and I'll get into some more of it in a minute. But the club owner is the one that spends the tokens, not the individual members. So you put a lot of trust in your owner.
So the members will earn tokens
based on matches they play.
It goes to the mob boss.
Goes to the boss, and they customize the stadium. They can change the way the goal looks like. They can change the way the grass or field design is.
Can we get a bunch of dicks in our stadium? Is that what we're going to go for?
We can only hope. And so only the owner is able to customize the stadium. However, they said the members can vote on what they want to be upgraded.
Oh, man.
I don't know if that's an internal voting system or how that's going to work.
It's got to be. Yeah.
It must be.
It's going to be so much fun.
So that's part of seasons. This is interesting. So when you have a club, there's seasons. Each season only lasts 1 week. And then it's followed by 1 week of the off season. So 1 week on, 1 week off. And each season, I like this part, has unique rules, right? So maybe one season is green shells only. Maybe one season is no items at all.
Oh my
Maybe
God.
one season is all Marios. Like, who knows what it's going to be?
I can't wait.
I think it's going to be awesome.
It's going to be so good. I actually love that it's not season, that there's an off season. It forces you to like decompress, play, have fun, and then we'll get a focused week. And then,
exactly.
I love that.
When the season begins, the clubs are assigned a group, right, consisting of 5 other clubs. And it's based on your division. So think about a switch sports, right? Rank A or rank B. If you're in rank A, you're only playing other rank A clubs. And you're going to be grouped up to 5 of them. When the season ends, each club's ranking with the group helps determine, which one will they get promoted or demoted to another division. And then during the off season, you can still play matches to earn coins, right? So the way to think about it is tokens, again, the club level, tokens buys upgrades for the stadium. It buys upgrades for your field, maybe your uniforms. And now there's coins. Coins is the individual level. I think that's how you buy gear for your characters or individual stuff like that. So if you win, you get 6 points in a match. If you draw, you get 2. If you lose, you get 1. So it's going to come down at the end of the day, just playing. If you think about it, John, the way I interpret it is if me and you were to play together in a club match and we win, we really get 12 points because we each get 6.
I see.
So if you're playing with people, that's going to really help you quite a bit. Players can also earn additional coins by completing each season's achievements. Even more fun stuff, John. So there's going to be achievements for each season. Maybe, score a hyper shot with Luigi. Who knows?
Right.
And then additional coins and tokens are given out based on the number of matches played. Kind of like I said. So season points 1, goals scored, assists, and more. So maybe you'll get more coins based on how you do within your club or just overall in general. I mean, it sounds like they nailed it. We don't know.
Online with Nintendo is all about implementation, though. The execution. And I will hate like Smash Brothers, right? We could play Smash Brothers online, but it's like it's always so laggy. Like I hope this really runs well. Otherwise, everything breaks down.
I will say the 3 hours I played, 0 glitches, 0 closeouts of the games.
Nice.
The only thing I'm super nervous about, like any online game, is I think you mentioned it earlier. If someone finds a way to manipulate the system and like glitch it.
Yeah. I mean, it could happen. I wouldn't be too worried about it.
No, we'll be okay.
It's gonna be so much fun. I think we should talk about like the club. So the club's gonna have 20 members, and we've been like saying not everyone's invited in, but that sounds a little mean. What we're really saying is we want this club to be long term. We want this club to be around for a while. This isn't like we're gonna play for a couple weeks and then drop off. This club is a long time. So if you are interested, let's like say for a year, if you are interested in playing Strikers for a year, this is the club you want to join because we are going to go, not how to say hardcore, intense. You need like a guild. You need to play 8 hours a day. No. Yeah. But we want people that are going to be in it for the long haul. And I think it's going to be fun. We'll be able to play with each other and do that. Now, I imagine in clubs, you can drop people or people can leave clubs. So don't feel pressured that if you join the club and you're like, maybe in a month, maybe I won't like the game. Maybe I won't enjoy it as much as I do. It's okay. You can leave the club. We're not going to be mad or anything like that. Well, whatever. But if you feel like this is a game that you're going to play for, a few days and then drop off, don't join the club. Just play online. We'll play online with you. But like, don't bother just joining the club because you're going to play Strikers. Think of it as I want to be part of a club and I want to contribute to this club. Because if you take up a spot and you kind of don't play very much and you drop off pretty quickly and we have to deny somebody a spot who does want to play long term, that'll kind of suck. So, just think about it in terms of I'm going to be playing this for a while. I'm really into this.
And I think we'll be able to see from what I read is with the point system, you'll be able to see who your top performers are and your bottom performers are.
Right.
So if you see for 2 or 3 seasons in a row that this person has 0 points or 2 or 3 points, and we already have 20 people, then we don't have to kick that last person.
Yeah, we might come to you and say, hey, you haven't been playing that much. Do you mind if we want to bring this person to the club? Or, and hopefully you'll be okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
So this isn't like super, super intense serious, but be moderately serious too. It's,
And we don't want to say anything yet, but depending on how that scoring system works within the club, maybe there'll be some, bounties, or maybe there'll be some monthly mayhem prizes or something.
Without a doubt.
So you want to be in the club. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah,
you
want
to be in the Dads After Dark club.
I imagine we're going to have room for everybody that wants to join our club. We've got a lot of interest already, but 20 people is a lot, for a $60 game. So I imagine everybody who wants to be in the club will be in the club. But if we do have 20 people, we just have to be a little bit more.
Well, I think it comes down to, we're open to even having family members in the club. I'm fine with that. But again, it comes down to if we are starting to hit that max and there's people that want in, you might get your kid kicked out.
Yeah.
Unless they're a top performer, then they stay.
I don't know if I want a 7-year-old in our club, though. Hey, because we're going to be voice chatting a lot. So
true.
I prefer adults.
Well, if you don't let them listen to this show, then they probably shouldn't be in the club.
It is the Dads After Dark club, I think, when you mean an age limit or whatever. But I can't wait. This sounds so much fun.
This sounds so good. I cannot wait.
I just can't wait to get this in my brain. It's like Rocket League. Rocket League is a game where you can play simply, but man, there are some advanced techniques. And once you get really good at it, it's like a rush. And I think we'll get that from this game.
Mm-hmm.
It looks really good. And then I can't wait to see, you design the stadium. Just, hey, let's play for a couple hours and rack up some points. And I can't, play some other clubs.
Yep.
There's just so much fun to be had. I hope they nail it.
Yep. Can't wait.
So we're going to create this club right away, the night before release. So I would say I'd like to get the club released, shortly after 10 p.m. Mountain Time on Thursday night, because I'm going digital too. And we'll start getting people in. I don't know how we get people in, but whatever it is, we'll get people in. If I need friend codes, I will ask you. But we'll get people into the club so we can start ramping up. And like I said, I think I might take Friday off and just spend a lot of time doing tutorials and stuff like that. I can't wait. I'm going to start another 1-player game also. I'm not going to just play this.
You know what? I forgot.
Can I get in the club?
I'm actually going to be at I'll be home Friday morning, so I'll be able to play for a couple hours.
All right. Sweet. Is that everything?
Yeah, I think that's it. I'm pumped.
All right. The first kick is done, right? I think that's finished up already.
Yeah, I don't know if you can still go in and do the training or not.
I would say you probably can, but you definitely can't play online.
Yeah, I would imagine they'd let you still do that.
It is a demo. They want people to play it. So cool. Well, before we go, we have one question we've gotten from our listeners, and it is from Chris HL94. So let's take a second to answer. He asks, if you guys were building a Smash Brothers style game with obscure characters, who would you include? I'll give you a few to start. Battletoads, Earthworm Jim, the Double Dragon Brothers, Billy and Jimmy. Interesting. I kind of read this as less famous characters, right? I have been calling for years that Lara Croft should be in Smash Brothers. She's the most famous character that's not in a game. She's not a sword user. She's a female. She's awesome. And she's so universally known. I imagine they approached whoever about getting Lara Croft in the game, and it just didn't work out. But it's shocking she's not in a game. But if I had to make a game, I would love to see a Smash Brothers game that's represented by indie characters. I want to see, Madeline in it. I want to see characters from the small games, the characters that would never be in it. I know Shovel Knight managed to make himself like a trophy, an assist trophy in Smash.
Yeah.
But I put here, I want to see the Life is Strange characters in there. I want to see, I would love to see a narrative Smash Brothers. Like, I'm thinking tons of Life is Strange characters. That would be cool. But Heavy Rain,
How
Some
do
of these
you
other
wrap
indie games,
Life is Strange into a Smash Brothers style game?
I don't think usually when you think of a character, it's like, what
Wrong with
weapon do they
you?
use? What would their moves be? But maybe it's just a game where you fight and it's just, having the characters and their voices in the game. I just think it'd be hilarious to see some character from a game, Heavy Rain, Jason guy shouts out Jason and that's like his big attack or something. I don't know.
We probably would need Ages of Mages in the game. Which color? Yeah, would maybe use all the colors.
Maybe all the colors would be.
Definitely.
You just cycle. But I think the indie idea would be cool because these guys will never be in Smash Brothers. It would be kind of fun. Although let's be honest, Smash Brothers is the perfect personification of a fighting game with characters. And even like Nickelodeon All Stars, even though some of these characters are characters that we grew up with and generations younger than me grew up with, it still doesn't really work all that well. There's just something about these big AAA Nintendo characters and famous video game characters that are in Smash that is just a perfect combination.
Agreed.
What about you, though? Just the Ages Mages guys?
Ages and Mages. Bayou Billy.
Hammer Kid?
Hammer Kid? Maybe like a Demigorgon, since we're on that topic?
Maybe all Life is Strange characters or Netflix characters.
Netflix characters.
You can definitely come up with some attacks for everybody in Life is Strange, right?
You mean Stranger Things?
Yeah. Oh, what did I say? Oh, I said Life is Strange.
Yeah.
Stranger Things. On
your mind.
Like Nancy would be in there, and she would use her 80s looks on you.
Steve would just have his bat, like the baseball bat.
Yes. Lucas played basketball.
Dustin would have like a Nintendo or something, a video game, or his cat.
It'd be cool. I'd like to see it. I'm looking at your list here. Oh, Gollum, King Kong, Godzilla.
I want a Paper Mario in one of these games. I feel like you to do some cool stuff with the paper.
Yeah, he's not. Is he even an assist trophy?
He's never been in Smash. How is he? Should Paper Mario could be his own character. Kind of like Toon Link. They need Paper Mario.
Yeah. What about Smash Brothers in like VR? That would be kind of neat.
God.
Maybe I'll be a little better at it if you can just use your hands and stuff like that. You'd be just like fighting and throwing your thing. Did you watch the PlayStation State of Play, by the way? I invited you onto the PlayStation show, and
it was like a half-ass pity invite.
Oh my God. I was dying for you to come on the show.
No, you weren't.
Did you watch that?
I did not.
It's actually pretty interesting if you get a half hour and you want something in the background, because they showed off Street Fighter 6. They showed off Resident Evil 4. There's some pretty cool stuff that they showed off.
But I'll never have a PlayStation, John.
Maybe one day. Well, but some of these games are going to be on other consoles, maybe even Switch. So, I don't know. All right.
Well, so much for a hour and a half show.
Nah, we never do it.
Never done it.
What do we have happening over the next couple of weeks, John? Well, let me tell you, Drew. There is one game coming out that anybody gives a shit about, and it's Mario Strikers Battle League. It comes out June 10th. We cannot wait. All the other stuff coming to Switch is just cruft and indie games. Maybe there's something for you, but I looked through the list, and there is nothing that I think a lot of people would be into. So it is Battle League week, and it's finally here.
Would you say Battle League? I mean, it rolls off the tongue nice, but after like learning a lot about this game over the last week, I mean, what's the lead really have to? I mean, I've seen seasons, I've seen clubs, but like, I mean,
it's all a league. I mean, all the clubs are in a league.
Maybe that's what they're calling the 5 or 6. No, they call it a division. I went through a lot of that stuff. I never saw the word league anywhere. It just seems funny to me.
Maybe something's going to be revealed. I don't know. I think Battle League does a great job of describing, like, once you hear Battle League, you're like, oh yeah, it's competitive, it's online.
I agree. No, there's nothing wrong with the name. It just didn't match. So.
I really do wish, and we talked about it, but I really wish Nintendo just made this their Rocket League. And just their one game. That and Splatoon, make it their Rocket League, make it just online. Even make these games free at some point. I mean, imagine Splatoon 3 was just free and they just did, what Fortnite does. It'd be great. It'd be amazing.
I'm telling you, I'm still standing by there's going to be some type of battle royale in Splatoon 3.
I wish. I really wish.
I
we
just-
should hear soon. It's June now. We haven't seen an E3 announcement yet from Nintendo, but I think this week we'll find out if they're going to do a direct.
Well, we might be
And
recording next week then.
Maybe it'll be this week. Oh yeah, if there's a direct, we're doing a response. All right, man.
Alrighty.
Good one.
Stuff.
Love your shirt.
Oh, yeah. Oh, thank you.
Dad's After Dark Show shirt. You can't see it, but it's there. Wait, show everybody. I'll take a little screenshot.
Oh,
Let's see it.
I gotta see.
Put your pants back on. Look at that.
Look at that.
Beautiful. Love it. Rubbing the nipples. Excellent. Excellent.
Did you look at this nice little coaster too?
I love the coaster. It looks shiny.
It is. Speaking of coaster, you checked your mail lately?
Did you send me a coaster? Subtle.
I did put like 3 stamps on it because I wasn't sure if it weighed too much. I mean, it's a coaster; it doesn't weigh that much, but I had to be safe.
Yeah. Well, it'll get here. Mail is slow. They killed it.
Snail mail.
All right, man.
Alrighty, good show. Talk to you later.
Good night, Drew. Good night, dads.
Bye.
The Dads After Dark show is part of the Nintendo Dads family of podcasts. You can subscribe to us anywhere podcasts are available, including iTunes, Castbox, Spotify, and Stitcher. Also, don't forget to leave us a 5-star review. Pretty please. Be sure to join us on the Nintendo Dads Discord in our Dads After Dark channels for some naughty After Dark talk. Follow us on Twitter at @NDadsAfterDark or email us at dadsafterdarkshow@gmail.com. And a big thank you to Family Jewels for our show's music. You rock. That's all for tonight. Good night, Dads. Sweet dreams.